In Universe 7, bloodlines carry more than just DNA. They carry history, potential, and sometimes secrets that last for generations. This is a story about a hidden truth, something buried in Goku's cells that he never knew about. A truth that would change everything. Let's start where it begins, on planet Namek, right after Goku's fight with the Ginyu Force. The medical pod was making strange sounds. Inside, Goku floated unconscious in the healing liquid, his body recovering from the beating he'd taken from Captain Ginyu. Now Saiyans heal fast. That's just how they're built. Take massive damage, nearly die, and come back stronger. It's called a Zenkai boost. But something was different this time. If anyone had been watching the medical pod screens, they would have seen something weird. Goku was healing twice as fast as he should. His cells were doing things that didn't match normal Saiyan biology. The pod's systems were confused, trying to make sense of readings that didn't add up. But no one was watching. Everyone was too busy fighting Frieza's forces. When Goku woke up, he felt strange. Not just stronger, though that too, but different in a way he couldn't explain. There was pressure building behind his right eye, like something that had been sleeping was starting to wake up. He blinked a few times, shook his head, and ignored it. His friends needed help, and Frieza needed to be stopped. The battle with Frieza played out across Namek's dying landscape. You probably remember how it went. Vegeta made his desperate last stand, got destroyed by Frieza, and died in Goku's arms. But in this timeline, something different happened in those final moments. Your energy, Vegeta whispered, blood on his lips. What are you? There's something else mixed in with your Saiyan ki. Something I've never felt before. His eyes closed. He was gone. Goku didn't understand what Vegeta meant. It seemed like just confused talk from a dying warrior. But those words would make sense later when the truth came out. The fight got worse. Frieza transformed into his final form, sleek, powerful, terrifying. Piccolo got knocked out. Things were desperate. And then Frieza did something that changed everything. He killed Krillin, just lifted him up with telekinesis and made him explode. That's when it happened. For Saiyans, rage is the key. It's what unlocks their transformations. As Goku's anger exploded, as that scream tore from his throat, the Super Saiyan transformation started to activate. But for just one moment, barely a second, something else turned on first. Goku's right eye lit up with crimson light. Now, this is important. This wasn't the golden Super Saiyan glow. This was red, with strange patterns swirling inside his eye like circuits or symbols. This was something completely different, something that shouldn't exist. Frieza saw it, and for once, the tyrant who destroyed countless planets felt uncertain. In that red glow, he sensed something beyond just Saiyan power, something ancient, something that scared him. Then the golden Super Saiyan aura exploded outward, covering up that red light, and the transformation completed. Frieza was facing the legendary warrior he'd feared his whole life. The battle raged on. Even at 100% power, Frieza couldn't win. But throughout the fight, he kept staring at Goku with this look, like he was trying to figure something out. "What are you?" Frieza screamed. "I've conquered this universe. I know every species, but you... I can feel two different power sources in your body. That's impossible." Goku's Kamehameha cut him off and ended the fight. Namek exploded. Goku escaped in one of the Ginyu Force's space pods, drifting unconscious toward a planet called Yardrat. Everyone on Earth thought he was dead. And in the quiet of space inside that small pod, Goku started having strange dreams. These weren't normal dreams. Dreams feel fuzzy, right? Distant, sometimes weird and random. But what Goku was experiencing felt completely real. He could feel the ground under his feet, smell the air, sense the energy signatures around him. He was standing on a planet he'd never seen before. The sky was dark and churning with energy. Above everything, Frieza's massive ship hung in the air, charging up an attack that would destroy the entire planet. Saiyans were running everywhere, some toward their space pods, some toward their families, most just panicking. Goku found himself standing in a small house. In front of him were two people he'd never met but somehow recognized instantly, his parents. Bardock stood there, the Saiyan warrior who looked almost exactly like Goku, just older and scarred. And facing him was a woman with gentle features and kind eyes, tears running down her face. This was Guinea, his mother. "Tell me the truth," Bardock said quietly but firmly. "I've always known something was different about you, Guinea. Your energy feels different from other Saiyans, the way you avoid combat missions, how gentle you are. Tell me now while we still have time, what are you? Outside, the sound of Frieza's ship charging its attack got louder. They had maybe minutes left. Maybe less. I'm not Saiyan, Gine whispered. I'm Cerillian, Bardock. Hold on, let me explain. The Cerillians were another warrior race in Universe 7. They had special abilities, especially their right eye, which could evolve to see and analyze things other species couldn't. But they were wiped out, their whole planet destroyed. Or so everyone thought. Gine continued, her voice shaking. I'm from the planet your people helped Frieza destroy 40 years ago. I was just a kid when it happened. I escaped, hid myself, disguised my energy to seem like a Saiyan. I wanted to survive. And then I met you, and I fell in love with a Saiyan. After everything my people suffered, I fell in love. Silence hung between them. The weight of this confession, combined with the fact that they were about to die, made the moment feel heavy. Then Bardock did something surprising. He reached out and gently touched her face. Then our son isn't just another low-class warrior. He's something new. Saiyan battle instinct, mixed with Cerillian perception. He glanced toward where baby Goku's pod sat ready to launch to Earth. If he survives, Gine, if he makes it, he'll be better than both our races, Gine said with sudden fierceness despite her tears. He'll have the Saiyan's heart, that drive to protect others, and he'll have the Cerillian's vision, the ability to see clearly, to understand. He'll find better paths than just endless fighting. Bardock pulled her close as the light from Frieza's attack started to fill the sky. Then maybe he'll make the universe better, just by existing. Gine's last words whispered as everything turned white. He'll be amazing, Bardock. I know he will. The vision shattered like glass. Goku jerked awake in the healing pod on Yardrat, his eyes wide, tears on his face. The Yardratians, the aliens who lived on this planet, rushed over, worried about why he was so upset. But Goku barely noticed them. His mind was spinning, trying to process what he'd just seen. That wasn't a dream. It felt too real, too detailed, too specific. Those were actual memories. But how? Here's what happened. Bardock had psychic abilities, the power to see the future. It's canon in Dragon Ball. When Planet Vegeta was destroyed in his final moment, Bardock used his psychic power to send his memories forward through time. He transmitted them directly into Goku's mind like a message in a bottle, except the bottle was psychic energy and the ocean was space-time itself. Wild, right? My mother, Goku said out loud, his voice sounding strange to his own ears. She wasn't Saiyan, she was Cerillian. The Yardratians looked confused, but Goku was already lost in thought. Pieces of a puzzle he didn't know existed were starting to come together. 3 years passed on Earth. Goku returned from Yardrat with instant transmission, that teleportation technique he learned there, and stories of his adventure. He reunited with his family and friends. He saw that Gohan could go Super Saiyan now too. Everyone knew the androids were coming in 3 years, so they trained and prepared. But throughout it all, something was wrong with Goku. About a year after he got back, the headaches started. They'd come out of nowhere, always centered behind his right eye, sharp, stabbing pain that made even Goku flinch. Chi-Chi wanted him to see a doctor, but what was a human doctor going to tell a Super Saiyan? During a normal training session with Piccolo in the Wastelands, something happened. They were sparring. Nothing too serious, just staying sharp when Piccolo suddenly stopped mid-punch. Goku, Piccolo said slowly, your right eye just flashed red. What? I saw it, just for a second. Your eye glowed red and there were these patterns inside it, like circuits or symbols. Piccolo's analytical mind was already working. That's not a Saiyan thing. They kept training, but it kept happening. Random moments when Goku's right eye would activate, usually when he was focusing hard or under physical stress. The patterns Piccolo described got clearer and more frequent. It was Gohan who figured out what was happening. The kid had been balancing training with school. Chi-Chi made sure of that. One day, while researching alien species for a school paper, and maybe avoiding his real homework, he found something in archived records from the Galactic Patrol, the Cerillians. Gohan read everything he could find, and what he learned made his heart race. The Cerillians were a warrior race known across multiple galaxies for one unique feature. Their right eye could evolve into something incredible. It could see and analyze energy at levels other species couldn't even imagine. They could predict movements, copy techniques, find weaknesses, all because of this evolved eye. And they were extinct, completely wiped out, their planet destroyed. Gohan ran home with printouts, his hands shaking. That evening, the Sun family sat at their kitchen table, Goku, Chi-Chi, and Gohan, and put the pieces together. The vision from Bardock, the eye problems, Frieza's confusion about two power sources, Vegeta's dying words about something else in Goku's energy. It all pointed to one impossible truth. "Dad," Gohan said carefully, "you're not completely Saiyan. Grandma Guinea was Cerillian. That makes you a hybrid, maybe the only Saiyan-Cerillian hybrid that exists." Goku sat there in silence. His whole identity, everything he'd understood about himself, was changing. He'd spent his life being proud of being Saiyan, despite their violent history. He'd thought he was one of the last Saiyans in existence. And now he wasn't even fully that. "Why now?" Chi-Chi asked. "If you've always had Cerillian blood, why is this eye thing just starting?" The answer came a week later during an intense training session with Piccolo, Gohan, and Vegeta. Vegeta was revived later. They were really pushing each other. Harder than usual because the android threat was getting closer. Vegeta fired a Gallic gun strong enough to destroy a mountain, and Goku decided to tank it head-on instead of dodging. Sometimes Goku makes questionable training decisions. This was one of them. The pain, the stress, the pressure of it all, everything hit at once. And something that had been sleeping in Goku's cells for 30 years finally woke up completely. His right eye exploded with light. The transformation was instant. Crimson energy blazed from Goku's right eye, and intricate patterns locked into place inside his iris, geometric and organic at the same time, like a living computer turning on. The patterns settled into place, glowing softly, and suddenly, Goku could see. Not just regular seeing. This was completely different. Energy became visible in ways it never had been before. He could see ki flowing through the air like rivers of light. He could see every person's individual energy signature for miles around, could tell exactly how strong they were, could watch the energy in their hands forming into techniques before they even finished charging them. "Whoa," Goku breathed, genuine awe in his voice. He looked at Vegeta, and it was like reading a book. He could see tiny facial movements that showed what Vegeta was feeling, muscle tensions that gave away what attack he was planning. Energy flowing through his body in ways that wasted power, fighting stances that left microscopic openings. The amount of information flooding into his brain was insane. "The androids," Goku said suddenly, his evolved eye glowing. "I can see them, not physically, but their energy. They're approaching from the south, 3 years from now, almost exactly. One of them has infinite energy. It's like staring at a star that never goes out. The other one absorbs energy from living things." Everyone stared at him. "You can sense them from 3 years away?" Piccolo demanded. "It's not sensing," Goku said, still trying to understand this new ability. "It's more like calculation. My eye is analyzing probability, potential futures, energy patterns across huge distances. I can see multiple possible futures, and in most of them, the androids are really dangerous. But we can win if we prepare right." Vegeta's fists clenched hard enough that his knuckles cracked. Of course, Kakarot would get another power boost he didn't have to earn through pure Saiyan training. What else can it do? Vegeta forced out through gritted teeth. Over the next few days, Goku experimented. What he discovered changed everything about how he fought. He watched Piccolo do a technique once and could instantly understand how it worked. The energy structure, the formation, everything. He could copy it after seeing it one time. He could predict where opponents would move by reading their muscle tension and ki flow. He could spot weaknesses in any defensive technique by seeing how the energy was built. And maybe most importantly, his power efficiency went through the roof. His eye calculated the perfect way to use energy, so he wasn't wasting any of it anymore. Most surprising, his base power had doubled without any training. The Cerillian genes, now fully active, had optimized everything about how his body worked. Think of it like this. Imagine if your body suddenly got a software update that made all your muscles work perfectly, removed all wasted energy, and doubled your strength without you even having to work out. That's basically what happened to Goku. But power always comes with a cost. And for Goku, that cost was understanding who he really was. Late that night, Goku sat alone on a mountain near his house, staring up at the stars. His evolved right eye glowed faintly, showing him distant galaxies, calculating distances, analyzing light from stars that had died millions of years ago. His whole life, he'd been Saiyan. That identity meant something to him. It connected him to his father, to Vegeta, to a warrior culture. Being Saiyan was part of who he was, and now he was only half that, half something else entirely. "Mom," he whispered to the stars, "I wish I could have known you, really known you. Not just that one vision, but what were you like? Did you laugh a lot? Did you enjoy fighting? Or did you hate it because of what happened to your people?" The wind was his only answer. King Kai's voice entered his mind. "Goku, I've been researching the Cerillian since you told me about your heritage. There are some things you need to know." "I'm listening, King Kai." The Cerillians weren't destroyed by accident. Lord Beerus, the god of destruction for Universe 7, ordered elimination of this planet. The Cerillians had become too advanced, too powerful. Their evolved eye meant they could see and analyze even techniques used by gods. Other races got scared and asked Beerus to destroy them before they evolved beyond control. They were killed because their potential was considered too dangerous. Goku sat with this information. His mother's people hadn't been evil. They hadn't conquered anyone. They had just evolved too far, become too capable of challenging the gods. And now he carried their genes. The next morning, Vegeta showed up at Capsule Corp, absolutely furious. "You're not even a real Saiyan," Vegeta shouted, his aura flickering with barely controlled rage. "A half-breed. I've spent my whole life competing with what I thought was another Saiyan, only to find out you're some kind of genetic aberration. Everything I've done, every limit I've pushed, I was chasing something that wasn't even playing by the same rules." Goku stayed calm. "I didn't choose this, Vegeta. I didn't even know until a few years ago, but I'm not going to apologize for what I am. My mom survived genocide. She found love in the worst situation possible. She gave me life knowing I different. That's not shameful." "Different? Different?" Vegeta's laugh was harsh. "You're an impossibility." Piccolo, who'd been watching from the corner, spoke up. "Does it really matter, Vegeta? Goku's been protecting Earth and fighting for others long before any of us knew about his Cerillian blood. His actions define him, not his DNA." Vegeta left without another word. He couldn't accept this new reality. Later, Gohan came to his father with his own questions. "Dad, if you're half Cerillian, then I'm 1/4 Cerillian," Goku confirmed. "You might have this potential too, Gohan. Maybe even stronger than mine, considering how your potential has always been crazy high." Gohan looked worried instead of excited. "I wanted to be a scholar, Dad. Study and learn and maybe teach. Not become a warrior carrying the legacy of two extinct races." Goku put a hand on his son's shoulder. His evolved eye faded back to normal as he focused on this moment. "Then be a scholar, son. This eye, if you get it, doesn't have to be a weapon. Use it to see things clearly, to understand things others can't, to make discoveries. You choose what to do with this gift. That's what makes us different from what both these warrior races used to be." It was a heavy moment, father and son both dealing with inherited destinies and the freedom to make their own choices. After that, Goku did something he'd never done before. He went to a quiet mountain range and found a good stone. Using controlled ki, he carved words into it. Gine, Cerillian, survivor, mother. It wasn't a grave. She didn't have one. Planet Vegeta's destruction left no bodies, no remains. But it was a place to honor her memory, to acknowledge the truth of who she was and what she'd given him. He sat there for hours as the sun set, talking to someone who couldn't hear him. "I never knew you, Mom. Don't even have real memories, just that one vision Dad sent me. But I understand what you did now. You survived when your whole world ended. You hid among the people who destroyed everything you knew. You found love anyway, and you gave birth to me knowing I'd be something the universe had never seen." The wind picked up. Goku pulled his knees to his chest, suddenly feeling younger than his 30 years. "I'm gonna make you proud. I'll use this power to protect people, like you wanted. Both Saiyans and Cerillians were warrior races, but I'll be different. I'll be what you hoped for. Someone better than both." As he meditated, his evolved eye activated on its own, showing him something that made his blood run cold. A vision, not of the past like Bardock's memory, a vision of the future. He saw himself, older, far more powerful, standing on a battlefield that didn't seem to exist in normal space. His power was so intense it was bending reality around him. Both of his eyes glowed with crimson patterns, and his hair kept shifting between gold and silver, while divine energy swirled around him in impossible colors. He was facing opponents. The vision wasn't clear on exactly who, that had power beyond anything current Goku understood. And future Goku was smiling that battle-hungry smile, the one that said he'd found the ultimate challenge. The vision disappeared as fast as it came, leaving Goku breathing hard, heart racing. "What was that?" he said out loud. Was that really the future? Or just a possibility? His evolved eye had shown him his own potential. A future where he'd evolved so far beyond his current limits that he could fight gods. King Kai's words echoed in his head. The Cerillians could rival gods. Goku stood up. His right eye still glowed faintly in the twilight. 3 years until the androids. 3 years to master this new power. 3 years to understand what it meant to be both Saiyan and Cerillian. Instinct and analysis, emotion and precision, unlimited potential and constant evolution. He raised 2 fingers to his forehead. Instant transmission carried him away toward King Kai's planet, leaving only disturbed grass and that simple stone memorial behind. Because Goku wasn't just a Saiyan who protected Earth anymore. He was a bridge between 2 extinct warrior races, a hybrid with the strengths of both bloodlines and the weaknesses of neither, and the universe was about to find out what that really meant. Goku stood in Capsule Corporation's main laboratory, feeling more out of place than he ever had fighting cosmic threats. The room was filled with machines that beeped and hummed, screens displaying data he couldn't begin to understand, and enough wires and cables to make his head spin. "Hold still," Bulma said, adjusting some kind of scanner around his head. "This is reading your brain activity and energy patterns. Dr. Brief and I have been up all night preparing this equipment." Bulma's father, the elderly scientist with the cat on his shoulder, was hunched over a computer screen, his eyes wide behind his glasses. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. After Goku had discovered the truth about his heritage, after his Cerillian eye had fully awakened, he'd realized something important. He had no idea how any of this actually worked. Sure, he could use the eye, could see energy and predict movements, but understanding it, that was a different story. That's why he'd come to the smartest people he knew. "Okay, I think we've got enough data," Bulma said, pulling the scanner away. She moved to stand next to her father, both of them staring at the screen with matching expressions of amazement. "Goku, sit down. You need to hear this." Goku pulled up a chair, trying not to break anything expensive. He'd learned that lesson the hard way over the years. Capsule Corp equipment was very breakable. Dr. Brief started speaking in that excited way scientists get when they discover something new. "Your Cerillian cells are unlike anything I've ever seen. They have adaptive evolution properties built right into their DNA structure." Goku blinked. In regular words?" Bulma took over. "Your cells can evolve on the fly. Most species evolve over thousands of generations, right? Subtle changes that help them survive. But Cerillian cells can do it in real time. They adapt to threats as they encounter them." "Like how Saiyans get stronger after near-death experiences?" Goku asked. "Similar, but different," Dr. Brief said, pushing his glasses up. "Saiyans need trauma, near-fatal damage to trigger their Zenkai boosts. It's a reactive system. You almost die, and your body compensates by getting stronger. Very effective, but also very dangerous." "Cerillians don't need that," Bulma continued. "Their evolution is triggered by intense focus and willpower. They can literally will themselves to become stronger or develop new abilities. It's proactive, not reactive." Goku sat back, processing this. "So Saiyans need to get beaten up to grow stronger, but Cerillians can just decide to get stronger?" "Essentially, yes, but here's the really crazy part." Bulma pulled up another screen showing what looked like a DNA strand splitting into 2 different colors, red and gold. "You have both systems. You get Zenkai boosts when you're injured, and you can trigger Cerillian evolution through focus. Your hybrid nature means you're getting double the benefits." Dr. Brief nodded enthusiastically. "And that's not even the most impressive part. Your right eye, it's functioning as a biological supercomputer." "A what now?" "A computer built into your biology," Bulma explained. "It's constantly processing information, energy signatures, movement patterns, probability calculations, threat assessments. It's analyzing thousands of variables every second and feeding that information directly to your brain. That's how you can predict movements and see weaknesses in techniques. Goku stared at his reflection in one of the darkened screens. His right eye looked normal now, but he knew the patterns were there, just beneath the surface. So it's like having a computer analyzing every fight in real time? Exactly, Bulma grinned. No wonder you learn techniques so fast. Your eye sees them, breaks down how they work, and reverse engineers them on the spot. Most martial artists spend years perfecting a single technique. You can copy one after seeing it once because your eye is literally showing you the blueprint. This was a lot to take in. Goku had always thought he was just naturally good at learning techniques, that his Saiyan instincts helped him adapt. But it wasn't just instinct. It was this Cerillian ability working in the background, analyzing everything. There's something else, Dr. Brief said, his tone becoming more serious. Your Cerillian cells have been filtering your blood, identifying and eliminating threats at a microscopic level. We found traces of a virus in your system, one that should have been fatal to Saiyan physiology, but your Cerillian cells isolated it and broke it down before it could take hold. Goku's eyes widened. The heart virus? The one Trunks warned me about? In the original timeline, Trunks, Vegeta, and Bulma's son from the future came back to warn everyone about the androids. He also told Goku that he'd die from a heart virus before the androids arrived. But that hadn't happened in this timeline, and Goku had wondered why. Your Cerillian biology saved your life without you even knowing it was in danger, Bulma said softly. This hybrid nature of yours, it's not just about being stronger, Goku. It's about being more resilient, more adaptable. You're literally built to survive and overcome any threat. Goku looked down at his hands. His whole life, he'd thought he was just a Saiyan who happened to be raised on Earth. Finding out he was half Cerillian had been shocking, but understanding what that actually meant, that was something else entirely. So what do I do with all this? He asked. Bulma smiled. You train, Goku, but not the way you usually do. You've been relying on Saiyan instinct and pushing your body to its limits. Now, you need to learn to use your Cerillian abilities intentionally. Train your mind as much as your body. Learn to trigger that evolution consciously instead of waiting for it to happen on its own. Dr. Brief nodded. Think of it this way. You've been driving a car using only half the controls. Now you know about the other half. Time to learn how to use everything at your disposal. Goku stood up, a determined smile crossing his face. This was good. This was really good. The androids were coming in less than 2 years now, and he'd just learned he had abilities he'd barely scratched the surface of. Thanks, you two. This helps a lot. He raised 2 fingers to his forehead, ready to teleport away. Wait, Bulma called out. Where are you going? To train. I've got a lot to figure out. And with that, he was gone. The wastelands north of West City had become Goku's second home. The rocky terrain, the lack of people for hundreds of miles, and the open sky made it perfect for training without worrying about collateral damage. Piccolo was already there when Goku arrived, meditating on a rock formation. The Namekian's eyes opened as Goku appeared. You're early, Piccolo said. Couldn't sleep, too much on my mind. Goku stretched, loosening up. I learned some things about my Cerillian abilities. Want to help me test them out? Piccolo floated down, a slight smile on his face. For Piccolo, any expression other than a scowl counted as a smile. I thought you'd never ask. They faced each other across the barren ground. Unlike their usual sparring sessions, Goku didn't power up. He stayed in his base form, his right eye beginning to glow with that faint crimson light. Come at me like you mean it, Goku said. Don't hold back. Piccolo vanished. To most observers, the Namekian would have disappeared completely, his speed too much for normal eyes to track. But Goku's evolved eye saw everything. He could see the muscles in Piccolo's legs tensing before he moved, could see the energy gathering in his body to fuel the burst of speed, could calculate the trajectory and destination before Piccolo even finished the movement. Piccolo reappeared behind Goku, fist already swinging toward his head. Goku tilted his head slightly, just enough for the punch to miss by inches. He didn't even turn around. Piccolo tried again, launching a rapid combination of strikes from multiple angles. Each time, Goku moved with minimal effort, dodging by the smallest margins necessary. No wasted movement. Perfect efficiency. How are you doing that? Piccolo demanded, backing off. I can see you preparing each attack before you launch it, Goku explained, his eyes still glowing. The way your muscles tense, how your energy flows through your body, even the slight shifts in your key signature when you commit to a strike. It's like watching someone wind up a pitch in slow motion. By the time you actually throw the punch, I've already seen it coming. Piccolo's eyes narrowed. Then let's try something you can't predict. He extended his arms, and dozens of energy blasts erupted from his hands in all directions. Not aimed at Goku directly, but filling the entire area with explosive ki. There was no pattern and no way to predict where they'd go because even Piccolo wasn't controlling them precisely. Goku's eye glowed brighter. To Piccolo's amazement, Goku began weaving through the chaos. His body moved like water, flowing through gaps in the energy storm that seemed too small to fit through. He didn't try to predict where each blast would go. Instead, his eye was calculating optimal paths in real time, adjusting his movement frame by frame. When the dust cleared, Goku stood untouched, not even breathing hard. "That's incredible," Piccolo said. "You're not just predicting attacks, you're analyzing the entire battlefield and finding the perfect path through it." "It's weird," Goku admitted, letting his eye return to normal. "I can see so much information now. Sometimes it's almost overwhelming, but when I'm fighting, it all just makes sense. Like my brain knows how to process it all without me having to think about it." They continued training throughout the day, and Piccolo began to see the full extent of Goku's new abilities. When Piccolo fired a special beam cannon, Goku's eye analyzed its structure mid-flight. Later, when Goku tried the technique himself, he performed it perfectly on the first try, complete with the spiraling energy pattern that took Piccolo years to master. When they sparred at close range, Goku could identify weak points in Piccolo's defenses. Moments where his guard shifted, where his energy was focused on offense instead of defense. Microscopic openings that lasted only fractions of a second. Most impressively, Goku started combining techniques in ways that shouldn't work. He merged the Kamehameha with the instant transmission, teleporting mid-beam to hit from an unexpected angle. He combined the Kaioken's energy multiplication with surgical precision, applying the boost only to specific muscle groups for specific strikes rather than his whole body. "You're not just strong anymore," Piccolo said during a break, both of them sitting on rocks as the sun began to set. "You're becoming a true martial artist, technique and power in perfect harmony." Goku looked at his hands. "It feels different from how I used to fight. Before, I relied a lot on instinct, just reacting in the moment, trusting my Saiyan battle sense. This is more deliberate. I'm thinking 3 moves ahead, seeing openings before they exist, setting up combinations that flow into each other." "Is it better?" Piccolo asked. "Different," Goku said after a moment. "Not better or worse, just different. The Saiyan way is passionate, emotional, reactive. The Cerillian way is precise, analytical, proactive. I'm trying to find a balance, use both when they're needed." Piccolo nodded slowly. "That might be what makes you truly dangerous. Most fighters are one or the other, instinct or calculation. You're both." As they resumed training, Gohan arrived, flying in from the direction of home. The teenager looked excited but also nervous. "Dad, Piccolo, I've been practicing something and I wanted to show you." Goku smiled. "Sure, Gohan. What is it?" Gohan powered up to Super Saiyan, but then something else happened. His right eye began to glow, faint red patterns appearing within it. "It's awakening," Goku said, his voice filled with pride and concern. "Your Cerillian genes." "It started yesterday during my studies," Gohan explained. "I was trying to solve a really complex equation and suddenly I could just see the answer. Not guess it, but actually see the mathematical relationships like they were physical things. Then I tried it during training, and..." He gestured and his perception clearly expanded. Even Goku could see the difference in how Gohan held himself. More aware, more focused. "Does it hurt?" Goku asked, remembering his own headaches before the full awakening. "A little. There's pressure, and sometimes I get dizzy from all the information, but Mr. Piccolo taught me meditation techniques, and those help a lot." Piccolo crossed his arms, looking pleased. "The boy's a fast learner, always has been, but now, with that eye, Gohan might surpass all of us one day." Goku felt a complicated mix of emotions. Pride that his son was so talented, hope that Gohan could protect Earth when he couldn't, but also sadness because he knew Gohan didn't want to be a warrior, he wanted to be a scholar, to study and learn, not fight and kill. "Gohan," Goku said carefully, "you don't have to." "I know, Dad." Gohan's smile was gentle but firm. "You keep saying that, But the androids are coming, and Cell after them if Trunks' warnings are right. I want to be able to protect Mom and my friends. And besides, his eye glowed brighter. I can use this for more than fighting. Imagine what I could discover if I could see molecular structures, analyze complex systems, process information like this. This could revolutionize science. That was so perfectly Gohan, finding a way to turn a warrior's gift into a scholar's tool. The three of them trained together until the stars came out. Father, son, and mentor, all pushing each other, all growing stronger in their own ways. The day came exactly when Goku's eyes said it would. Everyone gathered on a rocky island south of South City, the exact location Trunks had specified in his warning from years ago. Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta, Tien, Krillin, and Yamcha all waited, tense and ready. In the original timeline, this was where Dr. Gero's androids, murderous machines built to kill Goku, would first appear and start their rampage. But this timeline had some key differences. Are you sure this is the right place? Krillin asked nervously, looking around at the quiet city below them. Positive, Goku said, his evolved eye scanning the horizon. I can sense them approaching. 2 energy signatures. Well, 1 energy signature and 1 void. It's weird. One of them has energy, but the other is like a black hole where energy should be. They're here, Yamcha shouted, pointing. 2 figures descended from the sky. One was a large, pale android with a round build, Android 19. The other was an elderly man in a long coat and hat, Dr. Gero himself, also known as Android 20. Son Goku, Dr. Gero's voice was cold, mechanical. At last, I've waited years for this moment. Today, you die by my creations. In the original timeline, this is where things would go badly. Android 19 would fight Goku and the heart virus. Weakening him during the battle would leave him vulnerable. He'd nearly die before being rescued. But this timeline was different. I don't think so, Goku said calmly. His eye analyzed both androids in seconds, breaking down their capabilities, identifying their weaknesses, calculating optimal strategies. Android 19 had energy absorption capabilities in his hands. That meant if he grabbed you, he'd suck out your ki, leaving you powerless. But there was a limit to how much he could absorb at once, and his absorption field had a specific range, about 6 inches from his palms. Android 20 also had absorption, but his was more refined. However, both of them had a major weakness. Their infinite energy wasn't truly infinite. It was a perpetual motion engine, yes, but had rhythm, cycles. There were microsecond delays between energy generation pulses. Tiny windows of vulnerability. Everyone stand back, Goku said. I'll handle this. Vegeta looked ready to argue, but Piccolo put a hand on his shoulder. Trust him. He knows what he's doing. Goku walked forward to meet Android 19, not even bothering to power up to Super Saiyan. He stayed in his base form, his right eye beginning to glow. What's wrong, Goku? Dr. Gero taunted. Too afraid to transform? Don't need to, Goku replied simply. Android 19 attacked. What followed was less a fight and more a demonstration. Goku didn't just dodge 19's attacks, he avoided them with perfect precision, never moving more than necessary. When 19 tried to grab him for absorption, Goku's hands were always just outside the 6-inch range, close enough to land strikes but too far to be grabbed. Goku's evolved eye was doing all the work, calculating 19's movements, showing him exactly where the absorption fields were, predicting the android's patterns. To everyone watching, it looked almost effortless. He's not even trying, Krillin whispered in awe. He's analyzing, Piccolo responded. Watch his eye. When 19 tried a desperate energy blast, Goku caught it with one hand, compressed it, and threw it back with twice the force. The android staggered. Your energy absorption has a maximum input rate, Goku said conversationally, as if teaching a class. If I feed you energy faster than you can absorb it, it overloads your system. I can see the absorption field around your hands. It's easy to avoid once you know it's there. He blurred forward, moving too fast for 19 to track, and delivered a strike directly to the android's power core. The android sparked, stumbled, and fell. The whole fight had taken maybe 3 minutes. Dr. Gero's eyes widened behind his lenses. Impossible. You're supposed to be weakened. The virus didn't work, Goku finished for him. My biology filtered it out before it could take hold. Bad luck for you, I guess. This was one of the biggest changes in this timeline. Without the heart virus weakening him, Goku was at full strength, and with his evolved eye's analytical abilities, the androids were no match. Dr. Gero tried to run, flying toward his lab with everyone in pursuit. But before they could catch him, he activated something, a remote signal that made the ground shake. "Oh no!" Trunks, who had just arrived in his time machine, shouted, "He's activating 17 and 18! We have to stop him!" They were too late. Dr. Gero reached his lab, a hidden facility built into a mountain, and released the two androids he'd kept sealed away because they were too dangerous even for him to control. Android 17 and Android 18 emerged, two teenagers in appearance, but with power that made the previous androids look like toys. And one of their first actions was killing their creator, Dr. Gero, destroying him for keeping them locked up. "Great," Vegeta muttered. "Just what we needed." Goku's eyes scanned the new arrivals immediately, and what he saw made him serious for the first time that day. These two were stronger, much stronger. Their infinite energy was more refined, more powerful. Their combat programming was more sophisticated. And they had something 19 and 20 didn't have: personality, free will, unpredictability. "Everyone, listen," Goku said quietly to his allies. "These two are dangerous, stronger than me individually, but..." His eye glowed brighter, calculations running. "They're not impossible to beat. Their infinite energy has a pattern, a rhythm. If we time our attacks right, we can exploit the gaps." "You can see patterns in infinite energy?" Tien asked, incredulous. "It's not truly infinite, it just recycles so fast, it seems infinite. But there are microsecond delays between generation cycles. Hit them during those delays, and you can actually do damage." Android 17 looked at them with mild interest. "I'm picking up some interesting energy readings from you, Goku. You're different from what the doctor's files said you'd be." "Yeah, I get that a lot lately," Goku replied. Android 18 yawned. "Are we gonna fight or what? I'm getting bored." "Soon," Goku said, "but not today. You two want to kill me, right? That's what Gero programmed you for?" "Pretty much," 17 said with a shrug. "Though after being stuck in a tube for years, we're more interested in seeing the world first. Maybe cause some mayhem." "Tell you what," Goku proposed. "Give us 10 days. Let us prepare. Then come find me for a real fight. You said you're bored, right? Well, a one-sided fight would be pretty boring. Let us train, get stronger, and then we'll give you the challenge you're looking for." Android 18 looked at her brother. "What do you think?" 17 considered it. "Why not? More fun if they actually pose a threat." He looked at Goku. 10 days. "Then we're coming for you. Don't disappoint us." The two androids flew off, leaving the Z fighters behind. "Are you insane?" Vegeta exploded. "We could have fought them right here." "And lost," Goku said bluntly. "I ran the calculations. In a straight fight right now, our chances of winning is less than 30%. We need those 10 days. Trust me." What Goku didn't tell them was what else his eye had shown him. A probability stream where they fought the androids now and lost, with multiple casualties. The 10-day reprieve wasn't mercy, it was necessity. But the android problem was about to become more complicated. 4 days into their preparation, Goku's eye caught something that made his blood run cold. A new energy signature, moving across the planet, but this one was different. It was absorbing life energy from entire towns, draining them dry, and it was growing stronger with each absorption. "Cell," Goku said, the name coming from Trunks' warnings. "He's already here." Cell was a bio-android created by Dr. Gero's computer, made from the cells of all the greatest fighters: Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Frieza, and more. He needed to absorb androids 17 and 18 to reach his perfect form, and he was consuming humans to get strong enough to do it. Goku's evolved eye began tracking Cell across the planet in real time. He could see the creature's energy signature, watch it grow with each town it destroyed, calculate its current power level, and project how strong it would become. This was something his eye could do that shocked even him, tracking a specific target anywhere on Earth, watching its movements, analyzing its growth patterns. It was like having a global surveillance system built into his biology. "Everyone," Goku called, using his instant transmission to gather all the Z fighters at Capsule Corp, "we have a bigger problem than the androids." He explained Cell, his origins, his purpose, and what he'd become. Trunks confirmed everything, filling in details from his timeline. "So let me get this straight," Vegeta said, his arms crossed. "There's a monster made from all our cells that wants to absorb the androids to become even stronger?" "That's the basic version. Yes," Goku confirmed. "And you can track him with that eye?" Right now, he's northeast of here, about 200 miles away. He's hiding during the day and hunting at night. His power level is substantial. Not as strong as the androids yet, but growing fast. Krillin looked worried. Can we stop him before he gets too strong? Goku's eye showed him probability streams, thousands of potential futures branching out from this moment. In some, they fought Cell now and won, but sustained heavy casualties. In others, Cell escaped and continued absorbing. In many, Cell achieved his perfect form, regardless of what they did. But there was one consistent element across nearly all the futures. If Cell absorbed both androids, Earth's survival probability dropped to 3%. Here's what I'm seeing, Goku said, and everyone leaned in. Cell is inevitable. Even if we kill this version, Dr. Gero's computer will make another. The androids are the key. We need to protect them from Cell, which is ironic since we also need to stop them from their rampage. This is getting complicated, Gohan muttered. It gets worse, Goku continued. My eye can see probability streams, potential futures based on our actions. I've run thousands of scenarios. In most of them, Cell reaches his perfect form. The question isn't if he becomes perfect, but how ready we are when he does. That's insane, Yamcha protested. You're saying we should just let him become perfect? I'm saying we should prepare for perfect Cell as if it's inevitable, while doing everything we can to prevent it. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. Vegeta looked at Goku with an expression somewhere between respect and jealousy. You can really see all that? All these possible futures? Not clearly. They're more like probability clouds. The further out I look, the fuzzier it gets. But some things are consistent across most timelines. Perfect Cell is one of them. Piccolo stepped forward. What else do you see consistently? Goku hesitated. This was the part that had been bothering him since he first saw the visions. I see Cell achieving his perfect form. I see him announcing some kind of tournament, the Cell Games, he calls it. And he paused. I see Gohan standing over Cell's broken body. But in that vision, I'm not there. I don't know what that means yet. The room went quiet. You see me beating Cell? Gohan asked, his voice small. Defeating him completely. Your power in that vision is beyond anything I've ever seen, beyond my Super Saiyan, beyond anything Vegeta's achieved. You're operating on a completely different level. Gohan looked at his hands, uncertain. But I'm not that strong now. Not yet, Goku agreed. But you will be. The question is how we get you there, and what happens to me in the process. Trunks spoke up, his voice strained. In my timeline, the androids killed everyone, but Cell didn't exist there. My timeline's Cell traveled back to this era using a stolen time machine. So I don't have any information about how this plays out. Then we write our own story, Goku said firmly. Here's the plan. We split our time between preparing for the androids and tracking Cell. We keep 17 and 18 away from Cell as long as possible. And we train all of us to surpass our current limits. Because if perfect Cell is inevitable, we need to be ready for him. I have a question, Gohan said quietly. Everyone turned to look at him. Dad, you said your eye shows probability streams. Can you see if we win? Goku's evolved eye glowed as he looked at his son. The visions flooded in, thousands of branching paths, futures where they won and futures where they lost, timelines where Earth survived and timelines where it burned. Yes, he said finally. I can see futures where we win, but the path there. He met Gohan's eyes. It's going to cost everything. We all need to be ready to sacrifice. Even you? Vegeta asked, and there was something in his tone, not quite concern, but something close to it. Goku smiled that serene smile he got when he'd made peace with something difficult. Especially me. The room fell into heavy silence. Everyone understood what he was implying, even if he hadn't said it directly. The vision of Gohan defeating Cell without Goku present. The way Goku talked about sacrifice, the future was becoming clear, even if they didn't want to see it. 6 days until the androids come for us, Goku said, breaking the silence. Let's make them count. Vegeta, Trunks, you two train together. Piccolo, Gohan needs help controlling his awakening eye abilities. Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, work on teamwork and supporting roles. Bulma, can you work on some kind of tracking device for the androids and Cell? Everyone nodded, moving to their tasks. As the group dispersed, Gohan approached his father. Dad, that vision you had. The one where you're not there? Does that mean? I don't know what it means, Gohan. The future isn't set in stone. My eye shows possibilities, not certainties. He put a hand on his son's shoulder. But if it comes down to it, if the choice is between my life and Earth's survival, That's not even a choice. Dad, you have more potential than any of us, Gohan. More than me, more than Vegeta, more than anyone on this planet. And with your Cerillian genes awakening, you could become something truly special, a warrior who fights not because he has to, but because he chooses to. That's what makes a real hero. Gohan hugged his father tightly. I don't want you to die. I don't plan to, Goku said with a gentle laugh. I've still got a lot of fighting to do, but it helps knowing that if something happens to me, you'll be there to protect everyone. That night, alone on a mountaintop, Goku let his evolved eyes show him the future one more time. He saw the Cell games, saw Perfect Cell in all his terrible glory, saw the Z-Fighters struggling, saw Gohan's hidden power finally unleashing, saw that decisive moment when everything changed. And he saw himself, or rather, he saw the absence of himself. A gap in the future where he should be, but wasn't. So that's how it goes, he murmured to the stars. I wonder if I'm strong enough to accept that when the time comes. His eye glowed brighter, showing him one more vision. Gohan, years older, standing tall and confident, a scholar and a warrior. Someone who protected Earth not out of obligation, but out of choice. Someone better than Goku had ever been. And Goku smiled. Yeah, he said softly, that's worth it. 6 days until the androids, unknown time until Perfect Cell, and one future that seemed more certain with every passing moment. Goku powered up, his golden Super Saiyan aura lighting up the night, and began to train. If the future was asking him to make a sacrifice, he'd make sure it counted for something. The evolved eye of a Cerillian showed him possible futures, but the heart of a Saiyan would determine which future became real. The pieces are moving into place. Cell is hunting in the shadows, the androids are waiting for their promised battle, and Goku has seen a future that both inspires and terrifies him. 6 days passed in a blur of training. Vegeta and Trunks pushed each other relentlessly in the wastelands. Piccolo worked with Gohan, teaching him meditation techniques to control the flood of information from his awakening Cerillian eye. Tien, Krillin, and Yamcha trained together, developing combination techniques that could support the stronger fighters. And Goku? He trained alone, testing the limits of his new understanding. Making small wishes to his cells, watching them adapt and evolve. Each day he grew stronger, not through brutal combat, but through precise, directed evolution. But it wasn't enough. On the 6th day, Goku's evolved eye caught something that made his blood run cold. 2 energy signatures were moving together, Android 17 and Android 18, just like he'd predicted. But there was a 3rd signature nearby, one that pulsed with terrible hunger. Cell had found them. No. Goku teleported instantly to Bulma's lab. Bulma, Cell's found the androids! But even as he spoke, his eyes showed him what was happening in real time. Cell, having grown powerful enough through absorbing humans, had ambushed Android 17. The bio-android was fast, too fast. 17 fought back, but Cell was relentless. And then it happened. Cell's tail opened wide and absorbed Android 17 completely. Goku felt the power spike from hundreds of miles away. Cell's energy signature exploded upward, transforming, evolving into something far more dangerous. He got 17, Goku said, his voice hollow. Cell just achieved his semi-perfect form. Bulma's face went pale. Can you stop him from getting 18? Goku's eye showed him the probabilities. He could try. Could teleport there right now and fight semi-perfect Cell. But the future's where he did that. In most of them, Cell still got 18 eventually. The bio-android was too clever, too patient. He'd wait, recover, adapt. Vegeta's there, Goku said, watching the scene unfold through his perception. He's fighting Cell now, but his eyes showed him something unexpected. Vegeta's actually winning. He's stronger than I thought he'd be. What Goku was seeing was Vegeta in a new form, Super Vegeta, an advanced version of Super Saiyan achieved through brutal training with Trunks in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. The Hyperbolic Time Chamber is a room where time moves differently. 1 day outside equals 1 year inside. It's the ultimate training space. Vegeta was dominating semi-perfect Cell, his pride and power on full display, but Goku's eye showed him something that made his heart sink. Vegeta's going to let Cell absorb 18, Goku realized. He wants to fight Perfect Cell. He's going to let it happen because his pride won't let him win against an incomplete opponent. That idiot, Bulma shouted. He's going to doom us all for his ego. Goku watched it happen exactly as his eye predicted. Vegeta, supremely confident in his power, allowed Cell to absorb Android 18. The transformation was immediate and terrifying. Perfect Cell emerged. The energy that erupted from the transformation was beyond anything Goku had felt before. It wasn't just strong, it was refined, balanced, complete. Perfect Cell had power that rivaled Super Vegeta, but with infinite stamina, regeneration, and the collected techniques of every fighter whose cells he carried. Including, Goku realized with growing dread trace amounts of his own Cerillian DNA. Cell had collected samples from their previous battles, and now those adaptive cells were part of Perfect Cell's biology. "He's not just perfect," Goku muttered. "He's got my Cerillian abilities too, limited but they're there. He can adapt during battle." Vegeta attacked Perfect Cell immediately, supremely confident, and Cell proceeded to humiliate him. Every technique Vegeta threw was countered effortlessly. Every attack was predicted and avoided. Within minutes, Vegeta was on the ground, beaten. Trunks tried to help his father but was swatted aside like an insect. Perfect Cell stood over them, his perfect form radiating power and confidence. Then he did something unexpected. Instead of killing them, he made an announcement, one that Goku's eye had already shown him would happen. "I am giving Earth 10 days, Cell's voice echoed across the planet, amplified by some technique. 10 days to prepare. Then I will hold a tournament, the Cell Games. Anyone who wishes to challenge me may come. If you win, I'll leave Earth peacefully. If I win," he smiled cruelly, "I'll destroy every living thing on this planet slowly, one by one. Tell everyone, spread the word. 10 days. And then he flew away, leaving Vegeta broken and humiliated. Goku appeared via instant transmission, helping Vegeta and Trunks to their feet. The Saiyan Prince could barely look at him, shame and rage burning in his eyes. "I was strong enough," Vegeta whispered. "I should have been strong enough." "It's not about being strong enough," Goku said quietly. "Cell is different. He's got pieces of all of us. He can adapt, learn, evolve. Beating him isn't about raw power. It's about being smarter, more strategic." "Then what do we do?" Trunks asked, his voice strained. "How do we beat something that's perfect?" Goku's eye glowed, showing him those branching futures again. Most of them led to Earth's destruction, but there was one path, narrow, difficult, requiring sacrifice, where they won. "We train," Goku said. "And not just any training. We need to surpass our limits completely." "Vegeta, can you and Trunks walk?" Vegeta nodded stiffly, his pride wounded but not broken. "Good. Everyone meet at Capsule Corp in 1 hour. I have a plan, but it's going to sound crazy." They gathered in Capsule Corp's main room, the Z Fighters, battered and worried, looking to Goku for answers. "The Hyperbolic Time Chamber," Goku began. "We can use it to get more training time. 1 day outside is 1 year inside. Perfect Cell gave us 10 days, which means we can get 10 years of training if we use it right." "We?" Gohan asked quietly. Goku nodded. "You and me, Gohan, we're going in first." "Why Gohan?" Krillin asked. "No offense, kid, but shouldn't it be you and Vegeta? Or you and Piccolo?" "Because I've seen the future," Goku said, his eye glowing faintly. "My Cerillian eye shows me probability streams, possible outcomes based on our choices. In almost every future where we win against Cell, Gohan is the one who defeats him. Not me. Not Vegeta. Gohan." Everyone turned to look at the teenager, who suddenly seemed very small under all that attention. "Me?" Gohan's voice cracked slightly. "But Dad, you're way stronger than me. How could I?" "Your potential, Gohan. It's always been greater than mine. You know that. Everyone knows that. But potential doesn't mean anything if you don't unlock it." Goku put his hand on his son's shoulder. "I'm not training you to be my backup. I'm training you to surpass me, because that's what Earth needs." Vegeta's fists clenched, but he said nothing. Trunks looked torn between hope and worry. "Piccolo," Goku continued, "after Gohan and I come out, you take Vegeta in. Then Trunks can go with someone else. We'll rotate through. But Gohan and I go first because we need the most time to get ready for what's coming." Piccolo nodded. "I understand. But Goku, are you sure about this?" "No," Goku admitted honestly. "My eye shows me possibilities, not certainties. But in the futures where we win, this is how it starts. Gohan and me, training together, pushing beyond what we thought was possible." Gohan took a deep breath, trying to steady himself. "Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this." They stood outside the Hyperbolic Time Chamber door, a gateway to a dimension where time moved differently, where the environment was harsh and unforgiving. The chamber is basically a pocket dimension. It's empty white void with extreme temperature and gravity. Only 2 people can enter at a time, and you can only use it for 2 days in your lifetime. 2 years of training total. Goku and Gohan stepped inside. The door closed behind them, and they were alone in an endless white void. The gravity was intense, the air was thin, and the temperature fluctuated wildly. It was a harsh place, designed to break you down so you could build yourself back up stronger. "Okay, Gohan," Goku said, his evolved eye already analyzing their environment, calculating optimal training methods. "We've got 1 year in here. Let's make it count." The first few months were focused on basics. Goku helped Gohan master the Super Saiyan transformation until he could maintain it constantly, like a natural state rather than a temporary power-up. This is called Mastered Super Saiyan. Your body gets so used to the form that it stops draining energy, and you can stay transformed indefinitely. But Goku didn't stop there. He taught Gohan everything he knew about Cerillian abilities. "Close your eyes," Goku instructed during a meditation session. "Feel your cells, not just your ki, but the actual biology of your body. You've got Cerillian blood, more of it than I do, proportionally. That means your potential for evolution is even greater." Gohan focused, his right eye beginning to glow even through closed eyelids. "I can feel it. It's like there's something sleeping in my cells, waiting to wake up." "That's exactly what it is. Now, make a wish. Not to a dragon, but to your own biology. Start small. Wish for your energy control to improve." Gohan concentrated, and Goku watched with his evolved eye as his son's cells responded. The changes were subtle but real. Gohan's ki pathways optimized slightly, becoming more efficient. "I felt it!" Gohan opened his eyes, amazed. "It actually worked." "That's just the beginning. Over this year, we're going to unlock your full potential, both the Saiyan side and the Cerillian side. You're going to become something Earth has never seen before." They trained relentlessly. Sparring sessions that lasted days, meditation that stretched for weeks, pushing their bodies and minds to absolute limits and then beyond. About halfway through their year, something changed in Goku. They were in the middle of an intense sparring session when Goku stopped suddenly, his entire body going rigid. His right eye blazed with crimson light, so bright it illuminated the entire void around them. "Dad?" Gohan asked, concerned. "What's wrong?" "I can feel it," Goku said, his voice distant. "My Cerillian heritage. It's calling to me, showing me something." King Kai had explained that Cerillian evolution responded to will and desire, and in that moment, with everything he'd learned, with his understanding of both his Saiyan and Cerillian nature, Goku made a wish. Not a small one this time, not a minor adjustment. He wished with every fiber of his being, "I wish to become strong enough to protect everyone I love." The response was immediate and overwhelming. His cells erupted with energy, evolving at an exponential rate. His Saiyan biology and Cerillian biology, which had always coexisted, began to truly merge, not just living side by side, but integrating into something new. His Cerillian eyes patterns spread, covering more of his iris, processing information faster and more accurately than ever before. And then he transformed. Golden energy exploded around him, but it was different from normal Super Saiyan. There was crimson lightning mixed with the gold, arcing and crackling. His hair spiked up in that familiar Super Saiyan style, but the energy felt more refined, more controlled. His right eye glowed with fully evolved patterns, and for a moment, even his left eye showed faint traces of those same patterns. What is that?" Gohan breathed, feeling the immense power radiating from his father. Goku looked at his hands, watching the gold and crimson energy swirl together. "It's evolution, true evolution. I just combined my Super Saiyan transformation with complete Cerillian evolution. My Saiyan power and Cerillian precision working together as one." He looked different in this form. His appearance was Super Saiyan. Golden hair, green eyes, that iconic look. But his aura was mixed with crimson lightning, and his energy felt different. More focused, more dangerous. "I'm calling it Evolved Saiyan God," Goku said. The name felt right, even though he wasn't using actual God Ki yet. This was mortal power pushed to its absolute peak through evolution. In this form, Goku's abilities skyrocketed. His Cerillian eye could process even more information. His energy control was perfect, not a single wasted unit. His strength was comparable to what he'd achieved at Super Saiyan's peak, but with so much more efficiency and precision that it effectively doubled his combat ability. "Your turn," Goku said, powering down. "I showed you how it's done. Now you need to find your own evolution." The remaining months in the chamber focused on Gohan. Goku pushed his son hard, harder than he'd ever pushed anyone. Not through brutal beatings like traditional Saiyan training, but through precise challenges designed to draw out Gohan's hidden potential. "You're holding back," Goku said during a sparring match. "I can see it. You're afraid of your own power, afraid of hurting me, but Gohan, that fear is keeping you weak." "I don't want to lose control," Gohan admitted. "When I get angry, when I really let go, I feel like I'm not myself anymore." "Then make it yourself," Goku said, his evolved eye glowing. "That rage, that power, it's part of who you are. Don't fear it. Master it. Channel it. Your Cerillian blood gives you control. Use it." Near the end of their year, Gohan made his breakthrough. They were sparring at full intensity when Goku deliberately hit Gohan hard enough to hurt. The teenager's anger flared, and instead of losing control, something else happened. His right eye evolved fully, the patterns becoming as complex and detailed as Goku's. His Super Saiyan aura stabilized, refined, became controlled. He wasn't quite at his father's level yet, but he was close. So much closer than he'd been a year ago. "That's it," Goku said proudly. "That's the power Earth needs. Keep pushing that. Develop it. Make it yours." When they finally emerged from the hyperbolic time chamber, only one day had passed outside. But both Goku and Gohan had aged. A full year of intense training visible in their bodies, their movements, their presence. The other Z-fighters stared in shock. "Goku," Piccolo said slowly, "your energy, it's completely different." "We made some breakthroughs," Goku said with a small smile. His mastered Super Saiyan state was active, but he looked completely relaxed, as if it was his natural form. "Gohan, show them." Gohan powered up to Super Saiyan, and even in his base transformation, his power was obvious. His evolved eye activated, glowing with crimson patterns, and his energy felt focused in a way it never had before. Vegeta's eyes widened. "He's almost as strong as I am. The boy's almost as strong as me." "Almost," Goku agreed. "But he will be stronger. By the time Cell Games arrive, Gohan will surpass all of us. I've seen it." "Then what's your role in all this?" Vegeta demanded. "If the boy's going to be the hero, why did you need to train?" Goku's expression became serious. "Because I'm going to buy him the time he needs. Cell is perfect now, but I can push him to his limits. I can analyze him, find his weaknesses, set up openings, and when the moment comes when Gohan's ready to finish it, I'll make sure he gets that chance." "Even if it costs you?" Piccolo asked quietly. "Even then," Goku confirmed. The group fell silent, understanding what Goku was saying without him having to spell it out. "Vegeta, Trunks," Goku said, breaking the heavy moment. "Your turn. Train hard. We need everyone at their best for what's coming." 9 days passed. Vegeta and Trunks emerged from the chamber, both significantly stronger. Piccolo took a turn alone, using the solitude to push his limits. Even Goku's friends like Krillin spent time training in the harsh environment, knowing that every bit of power could make a difference. But the true preparation was mental. Goku spent the days before the Cell Games with his family. He ate Chi-Chi's cooking, played with Gohan, visited his friends. He didn't train. He'd already done all the training he could. Now it was about being ready mentally and emotionally for what was coming. On the night before the Cell Games, Goku sat alone on a mountain, the same place where he'd built the memorial for Gine. His evolved eye activated, showing him the future one final time. The branching paths were clearer now. He could see the Cell Games arena, could see himself fighting Cell, pushing the bio-android to his limits, analyzing his techniques. Could see the moment when he'd give up, not out of weakness, but out of understanding that Gohan needed to be the one to finish this. And he could see his own sacrifice. Not clearly, not exactly how it would happen, but he knew with certainty that he wouldn't be coming home from this fight. "Mom," he said to the memorial stone, "I wish you could have met Gohan. He's got your blood, your Cerillian heritage. He's going to be amazing, everything you hoped for and more. A warrior who chooses to fight, not because he has to, but because it's right." He paused, looking up at the stars. "I don't know if I'm ready for this. Dying doesn't scare me. I've died before, but leaving everyone behind, knowing Chi-Chi will be alone, that Gohan will grow up without me, that's hard. That's really hard." The wind rustled through the grass, and for a moment, Goku could almost imagine it was Gine answering him. "But if this is what it takes to save Earth, to give everyone a future, then I'll do it. That's what you'd want, right? You gave up everything to give me a chance at life. The least I can do is give my life so everyone else gets their chance." He stood up, dusting off his gi, and looked at his reflection in a nearby pond. His right eye glowed faintly, even in his base form, the Cerillian patterns always present now. I'm the son of a Saiyan warrior and a Cerillian survivor. I've got the heart to fight and the vision to see what's right. And right now, what's right is making sure Gohan gets his moment. He smiled, that peaceful smile he got when he'd accepted something difficult. Let's see how strong Earth's champion can become. The Cell Games arena stood in a rocky wasteland. A simple white ring built by Cell himself, surrounded by news cameras and horrified spectators. Cell had announced the games to the entire world through television broadcasts, making this a global event. Everyone on Earth was watching. The Z Fighters arrived together. Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Trunks, Piccolo, Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, and even Android 16, who had been repaired and wanted to help stop Cell. Cell stood in the center of the ring, his perfect form radiating confidence. Ah, the challengers arrive. I was beginning to worry you might not show. We're here, Goku said, stepping forward. His mastered Super Saiyan form was active, but he looked completely relaxed, like he was just out for a walk, not facing the world's greatest threat. But before we start, I want to make something clear. Oh, do tell. This isn't about pride or proving who's strongest. This is about protecting Earth. So if anyone here has a chance to win, we all support them. Ego doesn't matter, only results. He looked at Vegeta as he said it. The Saiyan Prince bristled but nodded reluctantly. How touching, Cell said dryly. Shall we begin? Who wants to die first? Me, Goku said simply. I'll go first. He stepped into the ring and the world held its breath. Before we start, Goku said, I want you to know. I'm not trying to kill you. I'm trying to understand you. Cell's eyes narrowed. Understand me? You've got cells from all of us, including mine. That means you've got trace amounts of my Cerillian DNA. I want to see how much you've adapted, how much you can evolve during battle. Cell smiled slowly. Ah, you figured that out, have you? Yes, your peculiar hybrid nature did make it into my genetic code. Limited, but present. I can adapt mid-battle, just like you can. Then let's see who adapts better. The fight began. What followed wasn't a brutal slugfest. It was a chess match played at supersonic speed. Goku and Cell moved through the arena like water, each anticipating the other's moves, countering and adapting in real time. Goku's evolved eye analyzed everything. Cell's power level, his energy distribution, his techniques, his timing. Every exchange gave Goku more data, more understanding of how perfect Cell fought. And Cell was doing the same thing, his own limited Cerillian abilities analyzing Goku's patterns. They traded blows that shook the earth. Goku fired a Kamehameha and Cell countered with his own version, but Goku's eye had already seen the weakness in Cell's technique. He teleported behind Cell using instant transmission and landed a solid hit. Cell regenerated the damage instantly and counterattacked. His speed and power were incredible, but Goku's Cerillian eye let him stay ahead, predicting movements, finding openings, exploiting gaps. You're good, Cell admitted, breathing slightly harder. Better than I expected, but you're holding back. I can feel it. I told you, I'm not trying to kill you, I'm analyzing you. Goku's eye glowed brighter. Testing your limits, finding your patterns. You've got great technique, Cell, really impressive, but you're fighting like a collection of copied abilities. You don't have your own style. Cell's perfect face twisted with irritation. I am perfect. I have the techniques of the greatest warriors in the universe. Having them isn't the same as mastering them. Let me show you. Goku powered up to his evolved Saiyan God form, the golden aura mixing with crimson lightning, his evolved eye blazing with power. The energy that exploded from him made even Cell take a step back. The fight shifted completely. In this form, Goku was overwhelming. His speed doubled, his power was refined to impossible levels. Every technique he used was executed with perfect precision, perfect timing. He wasn't just stronger, he was better. Cell tried his instant transmission to create distance, but Goku's eye had already calculated where Cell would teleport. He was waiting there, fist ready, and landed a devastating blow before Cell even finished materializing. Cell tried creating mini-cells to overwhelm Goku. But Goku's eye analyzed the threat instantly. He telepathically coordinated with the other Z fighters, assigning targets with perfect tactical efficiency. The mini-cells were destroyed in seconds. Cell unleashed every technique he'd copied, Kamehameha, special beam cannon, Destructo Disc, everything. But Goku countered each one. His Cerillian eye could see the energy structure of every technique, understand their weaknesses, and exploit them. How? Cell shouted, frustration finally breaking through his perfect composure. I'm perfect. I have infinite stamina. I can regenerate from anything. How are you beating me? Because you relied on being perfect, Goku said, not even breathing hard despite the intense fight. You never had to struggle, never had to adapt and grow. You were given everything. Me? I've spent my whole life learning, evolving, pushing past my limits. That's the difference between us. For the first time, Cell looked uncertain, maybe even worried. Cell, desperate and cornered, made a terrible decision. His body began to swell, energy building inside him catastrophically. If I can't win, then no one wins, Cell screamed. I'll self-destruct and take the entire planet with me. Everyone froze in horror. Cell had become a living bomb, and in moments, Earth would be destroyed. But Goku's evolved eye was already analyzing the situation, like running through thousands of probability streams in microseconds. He could see the energy building inside Cell, could see the explosion's potential radius, could calculate exactly what needed to be done. Not this time, Goku said calmly. His right eye blazed with brilliant crimson light, patterns swirling faster than ever before. This was a technique he'd been developing in secret, something that combined Saiyan energy manipulation with Cerillian analytical precision. Cerillian Cage. Golden and crimson energy exploded from Goku's body, forming an intricate barrier around Cell. But this wasn't a simple energy shield. Goku's evolved eye was analyzing Cell's swelling power in real time, adjusting the barrier structure moment by moment to perfectly counter the explosion. The barrier looked like a geometric crystal of pure energy, its facets shifting and adapting as Cell's power built. What? Cell's eyes widened. What is this? My eye can see your explosion before it happens, Goku explained, his voice strained from the immense concentration required. Can see how the energy will expand, where it'll be strongest, how to contain it. This barrier isn't just blocking your self-destruct, it's analyzing and neutralizing it. Cell exploded. The blast was massive, enough to destroy a planet, but Goku's Cerillian cage held. The barrier absorbed the explosion, its crystalline structure processing and dispersing the energy harmlessly into the upper atmosphere. Light blazed across the sky like a second sun, but when it faded, the arena was intact. Everyone stared in amazement. He contained it, Piccolo breathed. He actually contained a planet-destroying explosion. But Goku was breathing hard, sweat pouring down his face. That technique had taken everything he had, and inside the dissipating barrier, Cell's nucleus, the tiny core that contained his consciousness, began to regenerate. You think that's enough? Cell's body reformed, piece by piece. I can regenerate from a single cell. You can't. Your nucleus is in your head, Goku said, his evolved eyes still blazing despite his exhaustion. You can only regenerate if it survives intact. And I've been analyzing you this entire fight. Goku's eyes showed him everything. The exact location of Cell's regenerating core, the microsecond window before Cell's regeneration completed, the precise angle and power needed to destroy it permanently. He raised one hand, gathering energy with perfect control. Not a massive blast, that would be wasteful. Just a perfectly concentrated, perfectly aimed strike. I can see you, Cell. Every cell, every weakness, every structural flaw in your perfect body. One precise energy beam, no thicker than a finger, shot from Goku's hand. Cell's partially regenerated eyes widened as he realized what was happening. He tried to move, tried to defend, but he was still reforming, still vulnerable. The beam struck Cell's nucleus directly. For a moment, Cell's face showed pure shock. Then, finally, fear. This is impossible. I'm perfect. You were given everything, Goku said quietly, but you never earned it. You never struggled. You never evolved beyond what you were created to be. That's the difference between us. Cell's body began to disintegrate, this time from the core outward. With his nucleus destroyed, there was nothing left to regenerate from. His perfect form crumbled to dust, and the dust faded to nothing. Cell was gone. Truly, completely gone. The Cerillian cage dissipated, and Goku finally powered down, dropping to one knee. The technique had drained him completely, but he was smiling. It's over, he said. The arena erupted in cheers. The Z-fighters rushed forward. Gohan reaching his father first, supporting him. Dad, that was incredible. How did you? Cerillian evolution, Goku said with a tired grin. My eye could see the structure of Cell's explosion before it happened. All I had to do was create a barrier that perfectly countered it. Simple, really. Simple? Krillin shouted. You just contained a planet-destroying explosion and then destroyed Cell with one shot. Vegeta landed nearby, his arms crossed, his expression conflicted. Kakarot, that technique, that precision, that's not just power, that's complete mastery. Thanks, Vegeta, Goku said, genuinely pleased by the compliment. I wasn't praising you. Vegeta snapped, but there was no real heat in it. But you won. You actually defeated Perfect Cell. The whole world saw it. Indeed, the news cameras had caught everything. The world had just witnessed Goku, their mysterious golden-haired savior, defeat the monster that threatened to destroy them all. Gohan helped his father stand. I'm glad you didn't need me to fight. I'm not ready for that yet. And that's okay, Goku said gently. You don't have to be a warrior, Gohan. You can be whatever you want, scholar, fighter, or both. That's your choice, not mine. In the aftermath, reporters in the world celebrated their mysterious savior. Mr. Satan, the world martial arts champion, tried to claim credit as he always did, but the footage was clear. A golden-haired warrior had saved them all. Goku sat at his memorial to Guinea, Gohan beside him, watching the sunset. Your grandmother Guinea was Cerillian, Gohan. She gave up her identity, lived in hiding among a race that destroyed her people, all to survive. That makes us two of the last remnants of two nearly extinct warrior races. Gohan was quiet for a moment. I wanted to be a scholar, Dad, not a warrior carrying the legacy of two dead civilizations. Goku put his hand on his son's shoulder. Your Cerillian blood gives you a choice, son. You can evolve into whatever you wish to be. Warrior, scholar, or both. That's the gift she gave us, potential without limits. What about you, Dad? What will you do now? Goku looked at his hands, feeling the power still thrumming through his cells, even in his base form. I'll keep training, keep evolving. My eye shows me glimpses of the future sometimes, and I see threats coming, threats beyond anything Earth has faced. I need to be ready. Will you stay on Earth? Of course, this is my home. But I might spend some time training with King Kai or in the Wastelands. I want to master this Cerillian evolution completely. See how far I can push it. Later, alone, Goku spoke to the memorial stone. Thanks, Mom, for everything. I wish I could have known you. You gave me something incredible. The ability to adapt, to evolve, to see clearly. Combined with Dad's Saiyan heart, I can protect everyone I love. He paused, his evolved eye showing him fleeting images of possible futures. There's more coming. I can feel it. Stronger opponents. Gods even. But I'll be ready. That's what you and Dad would want, for me to keep growing, keep pushing, keep becoming better. The wind rustled the grass, and Goku smiled. I promise I'll make you both proud. Cell is defeated, Earth is saved, and Goku stands victorious, having proven that his unique hybrid nature, Saiyan heart and Cerillian vision, makes him stronger than anyone imagined. But in the cosmos, divine beings are taking notice. A mortal with power approaching godhood, that's something that demands attention. 7 years passed. In that time, Earth knew peace. Real, genuine peace. There were no androids, no biomonsters, no alien invasions. People lived their lives, raised their families, and slowly forgot about the golden-haired warrior who had saved them. But Goku hadn't forgotten. He'd been training. On King Kai's planet, Goku moved through combat forms with inhuman precision. Every movement was deliberate, calculated, efficient. His right eye glowed with crimson patterns even in his base form. It was always active now, always analyzing, always evolving. Better, King Kai said, watching with his hands clasped behind his back. 7 years ago, you relied heavily on Saiyan instinct. Now you're balancing it with Cerillian precision. The difference is remarkable. Goku powered down, breathing easily despite the intense gravity. It's weird, King Kai. The more I train, the more my Cerillian abilities seem to grow on their own. It's like my cells are evolving just from me wanting to get stronger. That's exactly what's happening, King Kai confirmed. Cerillian evolution responds to will and desire. Your training isn't just making your muscles stronger, it's literally rewriting your genetics to make you more capable. How strong have I gotten? King Kai pulled up his telescope, looking at distant galaxies. Your base form now is stronger than your Super Saiyan was during the Cell Games. You've achieved perfect energy control, not a single wasted unit of power, and your evolved eye. He trailed off. What about it? You can perceive divine ki now, Goku. That shouldn't be possible for a mortal. The Cerillians were created with divine influence in their genetics, and you've unlocked that potential. You're seeing things that only gods should be able to see. Goku looked at his hands, watching the subtle energy flows that were invisible to normal eyes. Is that dangerous? Dangerous? King Kai laughed nervously. Goku, you're becoming a threat to the natural order. The only reason Lord Beerus hasn't noticed you yet is because you're not actively using Divine Ki, just perceiving it. But if you keep evolving at this rate, what happens? Lord Beerus might take notice, and when a god of destruction takes notice of something, it's either to admire it or destroy it. Goku grinned, that battle-hungry smile. A god of destruction? That sounds amazing. How strong is he? Strong enough to destroy planets with a tap of his finger. Strong enough that all the Supreme Kais fear him. Goku, you can't. But King Kai's warning was interrupted by a disturbance in the cosmic fabric. An enormous energy signature, divine, ancient, overwhelming, was approaching from deep space, heading straight for Earth. Oh no, King Kai whispered, his face going pale. No, it's too early. He wasn't supposed to wake up for another 3 years. Who? Goku asked, but he could already feel it. His evolved eye was analyzing the approaching energy, showing him power beyond anything he'd encountered. Divine power. God power. Lord Beerus, King Kai said, his voice hollow. The god of destruction has awakened early. Beerus and Whis materialized above Earth's atmosphere, looking down at the blue-green planet below. Are you certain this is the right place, Whis? Beerus asked, stifling a yawn. I sense something unusual, but it's not quite divine energy. Whis tapped his staff, analyzing the planet's energy signatures. Indeed, Lord Beerus. There's a mortal down there with an energy signature unlike any I've encountered. It's fluctuating. Sometimes it appears purely mortal, other times it has traces of divine perception. Fascinating. Divine perception in a mortal? That's impossible. Unless... Whis' eyes widened slightly. My lord, do you remember the Cerillians? Beerus' expression darkened. The warrior race I destroyed 40 years ago? Of course I remember. They were becoming too dangerous. Their evolved eye was beginning to perceive and analyze divine techniques. Why? The unusual energy signature below has Cerillian characteristics mixed with something else. Saiyan, I believe. A Saiyan-Cerillian hybrid? Beerus' interest sharpened. That shouldn't exist. We destroyed planet Cereal before any Cerillians could escape, and the Saiyans helped carry out that destruction. And yet, Whis pointed downward, where a figure was rising to meet them. Goku flew up through the atmosphere, his evolved Saiyan God form active, golden hair with crimson lightning crackling through the aura, his right eye blazing with fully evolved patterns. Even without Divine Ki, his presence was impressive. Hi! Goku called out cheerfully as he approached. I'm Goku. Are you Lord Beerus? King Kai told me about you. You're a god of destruction, right? That's so cool. Beerus stared at him. This mortal was addressing him casually, floating in space without any apparent difficulty, radiating power that was impressive even by godly standards. And that eye, you're Cerillian, Beerus said flatly. How? Half Cerillian, actually, Goku said, his enthusiasm undimmed. My mom was a Cerillian survivor who escaped before planet Cereal was destroyed. She disguised herself as a Saiyan, fell in love with my dad, and had me like I only found out about my Cerillian heritage a few years ago. Whis studied Goku with unconcealed fascination. Remarkable. Your evolved eye is fully developed. You can perceive divine energy, can't you? Yeah, I've been training with King Kai, and at some point I started being able to see different types of energy. Divine Ki looks different from normal Ki. It's more refined, more dense. This is why I destroyed the Cerillians, Beerus said, his voice dangerous. They evolved too quickly. Their ability to perceive and analyze divine techniques made them a threat to the natural order. And you're a hybrid, combining Cerillian evolution with Saiyan battle power. Goku's expression became more serious. Are you going to destroy me? I'm considering it. Could you fight me first? I've been training for 7 years, and I really want to test myself against someone at God level. Please. The sheer audacity of it, asking a god of destruction for a fight, made Whis chuckle. My lord, he's asking politely. That's quite refreshing. Beerus studied Goku carefully. The mortal showed no fear, only excitement. And that power, it was unusual. Not god power, but something that had evolved to the very edge of divinity. Very well, Beerus decided. I came here looking for the Super Saiyan God from my prophetic dream. You're not that, but you're interesting. Show me what a Cerillian Saiyan hybrid can do. If you bore me, I'll destroy your planet. Deal, Goku said immediately. But can we fight over the ocean? Less chance of collateral damage. Consider it for a mortal, Beerus observed. Fine. They descended to Earth's surface, positioning themselves over the vast Pacific Ocean. Whis floated a safe distance away, his staff ready to record the battle. Whenever you're ready, Beerus said casually. Goku didn't need more invitation. He attacked. What followed was unlike anything Earth had witnessed. Goku moved with blinding speed, his evolved Saiyan God form pushing him to limits he'd never reached before. His Cerillian eye was analyzing Beerus in real time, reading muscle tensions, predicting movements, identifying patterns. But Beerus was a god, and gods moved differently. Beerus dodged Goku's first strike with minimal effort, counterattacking with a tap to Goku's shoulder that sent him flying through 3 mountains. Goku recovered instantly, his Cerillian eye adjusting its calculations. Okay, that was a lot stronger than I expected. He attacked again, this time using instant transmission to create unpredictable angles, appearing behind Beerus, above him to his left, each time throwing precisely calculated strikes. Beerus blocked them all with one finger. Interesting, the god of destruction mused. You're analyzing my movements, aren't you? That eye of yours is processing information faster than any mortal I've encountered. But can it keep up with this? Beerus blurred. Goku's evolved eye tracked the movement, barely. The god was holding back significantly, but even his casual speed was extraordinary. Goku could see where Beerus would strike, could calculate the trajectory, could move to defend. He still got hit 6 times before he finished processing the first attack. You're adapting, Beerus noted, genuinely impressed now. Each exchange you're learning, your eye is reverse engineering my fighting style in real time. That's what Cerillian evolution does, Goku said, wiping blood from his mouth but grinning. The more I fight someone, the more I understand them. Then let's see how you handle divine techniques. Beerus tapped the ocean surface and the water began to swirl. Not through force, but through energy manipulation so precise it bent physics. The ocean formed into a massive sphere, suspended in midair. Goku's eye analyzed the technique frantically, trying to understand how divine ki could manipulate matter at that level. Beerus flicked his finger and the ocean sphere launched at Goku like a bullet. Goku couldn't dodge in time. The attack was too fast, too massive. But his Cerillian eye showed him something. Structural weaknesses in how the water was being held together. Points where the divine energy was slightly less dense. He fired a precise Kamehameha at those exact points. The ocean sphere exploded into harmless rain. Oh? Beerus's eyes widened. You found the weak point in my technique? That fast? My eye can see energy structures, Goku explained, breathing harder now. Even divine energy. I can analyze how techniques are built and find ways to counter them. That's exactly why the Cerillians were too dangerous, Beerus said. But he was smiling. They could analyze god techniques and develop counters. Given enough time, they might have even surpassed us. The battle intensified. Goku unleashed everything he developed over 7 years. Combination techniques, energy manipulation, strategies that blended Saiyan instinct with Cerillian precision. His evolved eye was working overtime, processing thousands of calculations per second. And slowly, gradually, he was adapting to Beerus's fighting style. Not enough to win. The gap between mortal and god was still vast, but enough to make Beerus actually try. Remarkable. Beerus laughed, genuinely enjoying himself. You're actually making me move. When was the last time a mortal did that, Whis? Several millennia, my lord. Their clash sent shockwaves across the planet. Ocean water displaced in massive waves. Clouds parted. Energy lit up the sky like continuous lightning. Goku combined his Cerillian cage technique with instant transmission, creating defensive barriers at precise moments while teleporting to create offensive angles. Beerus responded with techniques that warped space-time, attacks that Goku's eye could barely perceive, let alone counter. But Goku was learning. Every exchange taught him more about divine combat. His cells were evolving in real time, adapting to the overwhelming power he faced. Finally, Beerus landed a strike that Goku couldn't fully defend against, a palm strike to the chest that sent him crashing into the ocean so hard he created a crater on the seabed. Goku floated back up, his evolved Saiyan God form flickering. He was at his limit. That was incredible, he said genuinely. I learned so much. Thank you, Lord Beerus. Beerus descended to float beside him. You're thanking me? Most beings beg for mercy after fighting me. Why would I do that? This was amazing. I got to fight a god. I saw techniques I've never imagined, and my Cerillian eye analyzed so much data that I'll be processing it for weeks. Whis floated over, smiling. My lord, I believe you've found something quite rare, a mortal who genuinely loves the pursuit of strength for its own sake. Beerus studied Goku carefully. You're not the Super Saiyan God from my dream, but you're something potentially more interesting, a hybrid with unlimited evolution potential. Tell me, what would you do if I offered to train you? Goku's eyes lit up like a child's on his birthday. Really? You'd train me? Beerus, Whis, and Goku sat on a floating platform Whis had created over the ocean. Chi-Chi had sent a massive feast, nervously, once she learned a god of destruction was visiting, and Beerus was currently experiencing Earth cuisine for the first time. Beerus took another bite of Chi-Chi's cooking. This is extraordinary. Whis, why have we never visited this planet before? You were asleep, my lord. This food alone is worth preserving Earth. Beerus turned to Goku. Here's my proposition. I'll train you personally. Whis will teach you advanced techniques. In exchange, you'll continue to provide food of this caliber and become strong enough to give me proper entertainment in future fights. Yes, absolutely yes. Goku didn't even hesitate. There's one condition, Beerus added. Your Cerillian eye makes you dangerous. If at any point I determine you're becoming a threat to the cosmic order, I'll destroy you immediately. Understood? Understood, Goku said seriously. But I don't want to become a threat. I just want to protect Earth and keep getting stronger. Whis examined Goku's eye with his staff. Fascinating. Your Cerillian evolution is focused on combat analysis and adaptation. But Lord Beerus, this could actually be beneficial. If this mortal can learn divine techniques through observation, he might achieve levels of power that typically require millions of years to develop. That's what concerns me, Beerus said. But it's also what makes him interesting. He looked at Goku. Your training begins tomorrow. We'll start with the basics of divine energy perception and control. Over the following months, Goku split his time between Earth and Beerus's planet. The training was unlike anything he'd experienced. Whis taught him about Ultra Instinct, a state where the body moved without the mind's interference, reacting purely on instinct. For most beings, it took millions of years to even touch the technique. But Goku's Cerillian eye gave him an advantage. Ultra Instinct requires shutting off conscious thought, Whis explained. But your evolved eye processes information subconsciously. In theory, you could let your eye handle the analysis while your body moves on pure instinct. So my Cerillian side analyzes while my Saiyan side fights? Goku said, understanding immediately. Precisely. It's a unique fusion that could create something entirely new. Goku trained relentlessly, making wishes to his cells, directing his evolution toward this goal. I wish to move without thinking. I wish to see without looking. I wish to evolve beyond my current limits. His cells answered. It happened during a sparring session with Whis. The angel moved with fluid grace, his strikes too fast for conscious thought to track. Goku's mind tried to keep up, failed, and then something shifted. His Cerillian eye began processing information unconsciously, feeding data directly to his nervous system without bothering with conscious thought. His Saiyan body responded with pure instinct, moving before his brain registered the attacks. For 3 seconds, Goku touched evolved Ultra Instinct. His hair shifted, not quite silver, but a pale gold that was almost white. His eyes, both of them now showing evolved patterns, blazed with crimson light. His body moved with impossible grace, dodging Whis' attacks without conscious effort. Then it faded, and Goku collapsed, gasping. Remarkable! Whis helped him up. You actually touched it. For a mortal to achieve even a glimpse of Ultra Instinct after only months of training, your Cerillian evolution is extraordinary. Beerus, who had been watching, nodded slowly. He's combining the Cerillian analytical abilities with Saiyan battle instinct and divine technique. This hybrid is creating something entirely new. Is that okay? Goku asked between breaths. You said if I became too dangerous. You're not dangerous yet, Beerus interrupted. You're interesting. Keep training, master that state, and when you do, we'll have a real fight. 4 years after the Cell Games, just as Goku was making progress with his divine training, Earth received an unwelcome visitor. Frieza had returned. His army arrived first, thousands of soldiers descending on Earth. But Goku sensed them immediately, his evolved eye tracking their energy signatures from Beerus' planet. I need to go, Goku said. Frieza's attacking Earth. Frieza? Beerus looked up with mild interest. The tyrant I employed to destroy planet Vegeta? I thought you killed him. Twice, apparently. Someone resurrected him. Handle it quickly, Beerus said, returning to his meal. If you take longer than 10 minutes, I'll consider it poor time management. Goku teleported to Earth using instant transmission. He appeared in the middle of Frieza's army, still in his base form. Frieza sat on his floating throne, looking exactly as Goku remembered, though now he was in a new golden form. Ah, the monkey arrives, Frieza said with that familiar smirk. I've trained for months, achieved this magnificent golden form, and now I'll finally have my revenge. Goku's evolved eye analyzed Frieza's new transformation instantly. The power was impressive, far beyond Frieza's previous forms. In his old days, this would have been a serious threat. Now, it was barely worth transforming for. Frieza, Goku said calmly, I'll give you one chance. Leave Earth now and I won't kill you. Again. You arrogant. Frieza launched himself at Goku, his golden fist aiming for Goku's head. Goku didn't move. Frieza's punch stopped an inch from Goku's face, caught effortlessly by Goku's hand, still in base form. Not even trying. What? Frieza's eyes widened in shock. 4 years of training with gods, Goku explained quietly. My base form now is stronger than my Super Saiyan was when we last fought, and I can see every weakness in your golden transformation. Your energy control is terrible, you're hemorrhaging power. You can't maintain this form for more than 30 minutes. Frieza tried to pull away, but Goku's grip was iron. 10 minutes, Goku said. That's how long Lord Beerus gave me to deal with you. I'm gonna finish this in 3. What followed wasn't a fight, it was a demonstration. Goku, still in base form, systematically dismantled Golden Frieza. Every attack Frieza threw was dodged or countered with minimal effort. Goku's Cerillian eyes showed him exactly how to move, exactly where to strike, exactly how to conserve energy. At the 2-minute mark, Goku landed a single strike to Frieza's core. The tyrant collapsed, his golden form fading. How? Frieza gasped. How are you this strong? Evolution, Goku said simply. I stopped relying on just Saiyan transformations. I learned to evolve at the cellular level, to adapt, to grow without needing near-death experiences. That's what my mother's Cerillian blood gave me. Cerillian? Something flickered in Frieza's eyes. Recognition. Ah, I found interesting information about your mother during my time in Hell. The Cerillians, they had enemies, you know. The Heaters, a criminal family that profited from planet Cereal's destruction. Goku's evolved eye focused on Frieza intently. What about them? They know about you, Frieza said with a dying laugh. They know a Saiyan carries Cerillian blood. And there's another Cerillian, a survivor named Granola. When he learns that his people's legacy is being carried by a Saiyan, well, enjoy your peace while it lasts. Frieza died with that mocking smile. Goku stood over the tyrant's body, his mind racing. Another Cerillian? An actual survivor, not just a hybrid like him? His evolved eyes showed him probability streams, futures where this Granola became an ally and futures where he became an enemy. The paths were unclear, but one thing was certain. Goku wasn't the last of his mother's people after all. 4 years of peace, 4 years of training with gods, 4 years of evolution beyond anything Goku had imagined. And now a new challenge emerges, another Cerillian survivor who may see Goku's Saiyan blood as a betrayal of their people. In the depths of space, on a reconstructed planet Cereal, Granola stood before the Heaters, the family that had taken him in after his people's destruction. Elec, the leader, laid out information with calculated precision. We've confirmed it, Granola. There's a powerful Saiyan warrior on Earth who's been defeating opponents that should be impossible for mortals to beat. He killed Frieza, twice. Granola's right eye, fully evolved with intricate Cerillian patterns, focused with intensity. A Saiyan? The same race that destroyed my planet? The very same, Elec said, carefully controlling the information he revealed. This Saiyan has been hiding his power, living peacefully on a primitive planet called Earth, but our sources say he's incredibly dangerous. Elec deliberately omitted one crucial detail, that this Saiyan warrior was half Cerillian. I want him dead, Granola said coldly. For my people, for my mother. Then you'll need power, Elec said, gesturing to the Cerillian Dragon Balls they'd gathered. Make your wish. Granola stood before the Cerillian dragon, its eyes glowing with ancient power. I wish to become the strongest warrior in Universe 7. The dragon's massive form rippled. Your wish is granted. You are now the strongest, along with one other. Granola's eye widened. What do you mean one other? There is another with Cerillian blood who has evolved to match your wish-granted power, the dragon explained. The half Cerillian on Earth. The words hit Granola like a physical blow. Half Cerillian? That's impossible. I'm the last one. There are no other survivors. Alec feigned surprise. Half Cerillian? Then he must be part Saiyan. A mongrel carrying our people's blood? Granola's hands clenched into fists, his evolved eye blazing with rage. A Saiyan polluting Cerillian heritage? Someone who carries the blood of both races, the victims and the murderers? That's worse than just a Saiyan. Much worse, Alec agreed, hiding his satisfaction. Everything was going according to plan. If Granola and this hybrid killed each other, the Heaters would profit immensely from the chaos. I'll kill him myself, Granola said, his power exploding around him as the wish took effect. I'll make him pay for carrying our blood while serving the race that destroyed us. He could feel it. The surge of power, artificial but overwhelming. He'd sacrificed years of his lifespan for this strength, but it was worth it, for vengeance, for his people. I'm coming for you, hybrid, Granola muttered, his evolved eye calculating the path to Earth. And when I find you, you'll learn what happens to traitors. Goku was training with Whis on Beerus's planet when it happened. His evolved eye suddenly blazed with light, both eyes now showing complete Cerillian patterns as they detected something impossible. A signal, a frequency that only Cerillian biology could perceive. Whis? Goku stopped mid-technique. There's someone broadcasting on a Cerillian frequency, and they're heading for Earth. Whis looked up with interest. A Cerillian signal? But the Cerillians are extinct. One survived, Goku said, his eye tracking the approaching energy signature. And they're incredibly strong. Wish-granted strong. This power, it feels artificial, like someone used Dragon Balls to boost their strength to match. He trailed off, realization dawning. To match mine. The Cerillian Dragon Balls, Whis said thoughtfully. If this survivor wished to become the strongest and the dragon matched them to your power, then they're coming for a fight, Goku finished. I need to get to Earth now. He used instant transmission, appearing above West City just as Granola's ship entered the atmosphere. The Cerillian warrior emerged, his right eye scanning the area with that distinctive evolved pattern. Their eyes met across the distance. For a moment, both warriors froze. Goku's Cerillian eye analyzed Granola. Seeing a pure-blooded Cerillian, his evolved eye even more developed than Goku's own, his power artificially boosted but genuine. Granola's eye analyzed Goku, seeing the Saiyan features, the tail scar, the battle-worn gi, but also seeing that right eye glowing with Cerillian patterns. The hybrid, the abomination. You, Granola said, his voice cold with rage. You're the one carrying Cerillian blood while wearing a Saiyan's face? Wait, Goku raised his hands peacefully. I can explain. Explain. Granola's power exploded. Your people destroyed mine. The Saiyans worked for Frieza, murdered my mother, burned my planet, and you dare carry Cerillian blood? He attacked. Granola moved with precision that stunned even Goku. His fully evolved eye predicted Goku's defensive movements 3 steps ahead, his wish-granted power backing up every strike with devastating force. Goku dodged barely, his own evolved eye analyzing Granola's fighting style in real time. Please, listen, my mother. A precision energy blast forced Goku to teleport away. He reappeared 100 feet distant, powering up to his evolved Saiyan God form, golden hair with crimson lightning, both eyes glowing with Cerillian patterns now. My mother was Cerillian, Goku shouted. She was a refugee. She escaped before the Saiyans destroyed planet Cereal. Lies! Granola closed the distance instantly, his fist connecting with Goku's guard hard enough to create shockwaves. A Cerillian would never mate with a Saiyan. Never! Their battle became a deadly dance. Both warriors had evolved Cerillian eyes. Both could predict movements, analyze techniques, see probability streams. It was like 2 chess grandmasters playing at light speed, each seeing the other's moves before they happened, countering the counters, adapting in real time. Goku threw a Kamehameha. Granola's eye analyzed its structure and fired a counterblast that perfectly neutralized it. Granola used his sniper technique, precision energy attacks from impossible angles. Goku's eye tracked each trajectory and dodged with millimeter precision. They clashed in close combat, and it was beautiful and terrifying. Every punch was predicted and countered. Every kick was analyzed and avoided. Their evolved eyes created a tactical network where both fighters operated several steps ahead of normal perception. You're good, Goku admitted, blocking a strike that would have taken his head off. Your eye is more developed than mine. You're pure Cerillian. You were born with this ability. And you're a mongrel who stole it, Granola snarled, his attacks intensifying. Below them, Vegeta, Gohan, and Piccolo watched in shock. They're both using that eye ability, Vegeta said, unable to keep the frustration from his voice. It's like watching 2 supercomputers fighting. I can barely track their movements. Dad's holding back, Gohan observed, his own quarter Cerillian eye detecting the subtle signs. He's trying not to hurt Granola. He's defending more than attacking. Because he wants to talk, Piccolo said, but that Cerillian won't listen. The battle raged for 10 minutes. then 20. The landscape was being reshaped by their clashes. Neither warrior could gain a definitive advantage. They were too evenly matched, their evolved eyes making it nearly impossible to land a decisive blow. Finally, both fighters paused, breathing hard. "You're strong," Granola admitted grudgingly. "Stronger than any Saiyan should be." "It's the Cerillian evolution," Goku said, "combined with Saiyan potential." "But Granola, please, let me explain about my mother." Before Granola could respond, a third presence made itself known. A massive surge of divine energy descended from above, and Whis appeared between them, his staff glowing. "Enough," Whis said simply. One gesture from his staff froze both warriors in place, not through force, but through sheer divine authority. "You're fighting for the wrong reasons." Granola struggled against Whis's restraint. "Let me go. I need to kill this traitor." "Traitor?" Whis tilted his head. "Granola, I presume. You're operating on incomplete information. This warrior's mother, Guinea, was indeed Cerillian, a survivor who escaped planet Cereal before its destruction." "Impossible," Granola said. But his evolved eye could see that Whis wasn't lying. Angels couldn't lie. "She was young when the Saiyans came," Whis continued. "She hid among them, disguised her energy signature, survived through cunning and will. When she met Bardock, a Saiyan warrior with psychic abilities who was different from his kind, she eventually told him the truth. He accepted her. They fell in love, and they had a son." Whis gestured to Goku. "This is Son Goku, half Saiyan, half Cerillian. His mother died when Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta, the same tyrant who orchestrated your planet's destruction. Goku was sent to Earth as a baby, hid his head, and grew up protecting people instead of conquering them." Granola's eye analyzed Goku more carefully now, seeing past the rage. The Saiyan features were there, yes, but that evolved eye, those combat instincts, tempered with precision, those were Cerillian. "My mother never participated in raids," Goku said softly, Whis having released them both. "She was a meatpacker on planet Vegeta, stayed away from combat. She survived the destruction of her people, then survived among her people's destroyers, all while keeping me safe." "She fell in love with the enemy," Granola said, his voice hollow. "She fell in love with a person," Goku corrected. "Bardock wasn't defined by being Saiyan, just like she wasn't defined by being Cerillian. They were just two people who found each other in terrible circumstances." Granola's hands were shaking. Decades of hatred, of training for revenge, of defining himself by his anger at Saiyans, and now he was learning that the last other Cerillian-blooded warrior in existence was the product of love between their races. "I spent my whole life hating Saiyans," Granola whispered. "I don't blame you," Goku said honestly. "The Saiyans who destroyed your planet were murderers working for Frieza. They made terrible choices. But my father Bardock chose to love a Cerillian refugee. I chose to protect Earth. We're more than our species. We're the choices we make." Granola looked at his hands, hands that had trained every day to kill Saiyans. "The Saiyans are extinct now, except for you and Vegeta." "Exactly," Goku said. "The Saiyans who destroyed your people, they died when Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta. The race that hurt you is gone. You can't take revenge on ghosts." Before Granola could respond, ships descended from the sky. The heaters had arrived. Alec emerged from the lead ship, his smile sharp. "Granola! Wonderful work finding the hybrid. Now finish him off, and we can." "You lied to me," Granola said coldly, his evolved eye focusing on Elec. With his Cerillian vision, he could read micro-expressions, heart rate changes, energy fluctuations, every sign of deception. "You knew he was half Cerillian. You deliberately left that out." Elec's smile faltered. "I merely provided the information that was relevant." "You wanted us to kill each other," Goku said, his own evolved eye analyzing the situation. "You profit from chaos. You probably profited from Planet Cereal's destruction too." "Actually, we did," Elec admitted, dropping the pretense. "Quite handsomely. And we'd profit even more if Universe 7's two strongest warriors eliminated each other. But since that's failed," he gestured. Gas stepped forward, Elec's brother, massive and intimidating. "I've made my own wish to the Cerillian Dragon Balls," Gas said. "I wish to become the strongest warrior in the universe. Right now, that means I'm stronger than both of you." Gas's power exploded outward, and even Goku's evolved eye widened at the reading. The wish had worked. Temporarily at least, Gas had surpassed them both. "Granola," Goku said, "I know we just met. I know you have every reason to hate Saiyans. But these people used you. They manipulated your pain for profit. Help me stop them." Granola looked between Goku and the heaters. His evolved eye showed him two paths: continue his vendetta against a Saiyan who'd never wronged him, or fight the people who'd actually profited from his people's death. "I've been alone for so long," Granola said quietly, then louder. "Fine, but we're just allies for this fight, nothing more." "Works for me," Goku grinned. Gas attacked. What followed was a brutal fight. Gas's wish-enhanced power was overwhelming. He could match both Goku and Granola individually. But together was different. Goku and Granola's evolved eyes synchronized almost immediately. They could see what the other was seeing, analyze the same tactical information, coordinate without speaking. Granola fired precision sniper shots from impossible angles. Goku created openings with direct confrontation. Their Cerillian abilities created a shared tactical network that let them work with perfect synchronization. "I can see your movements before you make them," Granola said, amazed. "Same," Goku replied, dodging one of Gas's attacks while Granola fired through the opening Goku had predicted would appear. "It's like we're thinking in sync." But Gas was still too strong. Every time they thought they had an opening, he adapted. The fight was pushing both of them to their limits. "Granola," Goku called out during a brief separation. "Your Cerillian evolution, it's not just about getting stronger. It's about adapting, learning. Your eye can create new possibilities." "What are you talking about? Make a wish." Goku's eyes blazed brighter. "Not to a dragon, to your own cells. Cerillians can evolve through will. I've been doing it for years," Goku demonstrated. He made a wish deep in his cells. "I wish to evolve beyond my current limits." His transformation was immediate and spectacular. His golden hair shifted, taking on an almost silver-white quality while maintaining the Saiyan spikes. Crimson lightning exploded around him, but now mixed with something else, a strange energy that seemed to warp space around him. Both his eyes blazed with fully evolved Cerillian patterns, processing information at levels beyond even Ultra Instinct's foundation. "True evolved state," Goku said, his voice carrying harmonics that resonated with power. This form combined everything: Ultra Instinct's autonomous movement, Cerillian evolution and prediction, Saiyan limitless potential, perfect energy control. Granola watched in awe. Then, understanding, he closed his eyes and made his own wish. His cells, pure Cerillian cells, responded with even more force than Goku's hybrid ones. Granola's power doubled, his evolved eye becoming so advanced it could perceive things seconds into the future. Together, they attacked Gas with renewed force. The battle reached its climax. Gas, even with his wish-granted power, couldn't handle the synchronized assault. Goku and Granola moved like water, their evolved eyes creating tactical opportunities faster than Gas could counter. "You need to evolve, not just receive power," Goku shouted while mid-strike. "Cerillian evolution isn't about being given strength, it's about becoming more than you were." Granola understood. For the first time, he wasn't fighting from hate. He was fighting to protect, to honor his people by being the kind of Cerillian they'd be proud of. Their final combination technique was beautiful. Goku created an opening with his true evolved state, moving so fast that even Gas's enhanced perception couldn't fully track him. Granola, his eyes synchronized with Goku's, fired through that opening with precision that only a pure Cerillian could achieve. The blast struck Gas's core, bypassing all his defenses. Gas collapsed, his wish-granted power fading. "Finish it," Goku said, stepping back. "He hurt your people by profiting from their death. You deserve this." Granola delivered the final blow, but there was no joy in it, just closure. The heaters fled in their ships. Goku let them go. They weren't worth chasing. Granola powered down, staring at his hands. "I've hated Saiyans my whole life, trained every day to kill them all, and now I find out they're extinct except for you and Vegeta, and one of you is part Cerillian and just helped me defeat my actual enemies. Hate's exhausting," Goku said gently. "Trust me, I've met a lot of people who spent their lives hating. It never made them happy. But protecting people, fighting for others, that feels good. How do I stop hating? You don't have to stop all at once. Just redirect it. Be angry at what happened, not at people who weren't there. Honor your people by being the kind of Cerillian who builds instead of destroys." Granola looked at Goku, at this hybrid warrior who should be his enemy but had fought beside him, had taught him, had offered friendship despite having every reason not to. "I want to learn more," Granola said finally, "about your mother Guinea, about Cerillian abilities, about what it means to carry our blood forward." Goku's smile was genuine. "Stay on Earth. Train with us. You're not alone anymore, Granola. We're family. Distant, complicated family, but family. Family," Granola repeated, testing the word. He'd been alone for so long. Vegeta landed nearby, scowling. "So now there are two of you with that ridiculous eye? Perfect. Just perfect. Vegeta, meet Granola," Goku said cheerfully. "He's a full-blooded Cerillian. Isn't that amazing?" "It's annoying," Vegeta muttered, but he nodded to Granola with grudging respect. "You're strong. That's something." Gohan approached, his own partially evolved Cerillian eyes active. "It's good to meet you, Granola. I'm Gohan, Goku's son. I'm quarter Cerillian." "Cerillian." Granola studied the young man. 3 generations of Cerillian blood, diluted but continuing. "Your grandmother would be proud." "I hope so," Gohan said softly. That evening, Goku took Granola to Guinea's memorial in the mountains. The simple stone marker stood against the sunset, and Granola placed a cerulean flower he'd kept preserved from his home. "For Guinea," Granola said, "the last true Cerillian before me, the one who chose love over hate." They sat in silence for a while. Then Granola spoke. "Tell me about her, everything you know." Goku told him about the psychic vision from Bardock, about Guinea's confession, about her final words, hoping that her son would be better than both their races. When he finished, Granola had tears on his face. "She survived everything, our planet's destruction, living among murderers, and she still chose hope." "Yeah," Goku said. "That's what I want to honor. Not just being strong, but being better." Granola stood, looking at the memorial with his evolved eye, seeing not just the physical marker, but the meaning behind it. "I'll stay on Earth, I'll learn from you, and I'll make sure the Cerillian legacy is about more than just revenge." "That's all I could ask," Goku said. As they walked back down the mountain, Whis appeared with a message. "Goku, I have news from the Grand Priest. Universe 7 has 2 warriors with Cerillian abilities now, you and Granola. Zeno-sama is quite interested. There will be a tournament of power held soon, and you'll both be expected to participate." Goku's eyes lit up. A tournament? With warriors from other universes? 80 warriors total. The fate of entire universes will hang in the balance. Granola and Goku exchanged glances. Their evolved eyes showed them probability streams of possible futures. Futures where they fought together, where their synchronized abilities made them unstoppable. "Want to be my partner?" Goku asked. Granola smiled, his first genuine smile in years. "Someone needs to keep you from doing something stupid. That's what family's for," Goku said with a grin. The last Cerillians stood together as the sun set. No longer enemies, no longer alone. Family. The months following Granola's arrival changed everything about Earth's defenders. In the wastelands north of West City, 3 warriors stood in a triangle formation, their energy signatures creating a light show visible from space. Goku, Vegeta, and Granola, the new trio of Universe 7. "Again," Vegeta demanded, his aura blazing with royal blue energy. "I won't be left behind by you two and your damn evolved eyes." Goku grinned, his own eyes glowing with crimson patterns. "You're doing great, Vegeta. Your instincts are almost matching our analytical abilities." "Almost isn't good enough," Vegeta roared, launching himself at both of them simultaneously. What followed was a 3-way battle that would have devastated a planet. Goku and Granola's Cerillian eyes synchronized, analyzing Vegeta's movements. But Vegeta had been training obsessively, and he developed something remarkable. Royal combat sense! Vegeta's aura exploded with new intensity. His eyes didn't have Cerillian patterns, but they blazed with pure Saiyan pride and determination. Through sheer willpower and battle experience, he'd created his own version of analytical combat, reading opponents through instinct rather than biology. "He's matching us," Granola said, genuinely impressed as Vegeta predicted and countered a combination attack. "That's Vegeta," Goku said proudly. "He refuses to be left behind. If he can't copy our eye abilities, he'll create his own path to the same destination." The 3 warriors pushed each other to heights none could achieve alone. Goku learned precision from Granola. Granola learned passion and determination from both Saiyans. Vegeta developed his royal combat sense until it rivaled their Cerillian abilities through pure Saiyan evolution. During breaks, they'd talk strategy. "The Tournament of Power," Goku said, sitting on a rock while eating a senzu bean. 80 warriors from 8 universes. If we lose, Universe 7 gets erased. Everyone, Earth, Namek, all of it, gone. Granola's evolved eye showed him probability streams of the tournament. "We need perfect teamwork. Even with our abilities, we can't win through raw power alone. Then we don't rely on power," Vegeta said, his pride evident but tempered with strategic thinking. "We use tactics. Coordination. The Cerillian eyes can analyze all 80 fighters and coordinate our entire team." "Exactly," Goku agreed. "With Granola and me working together, we can create a tactical network for the whole team. Everyone gets real-time information about threats, weaknesses, opportunities." They continued training, developing combination techniques that utilized all 3 fighting styles. Triforce Strike. Vegeta's raw power created the opening, Goku's evolved instinct found the perfect timing, and Granola's precision finished the technique with devastating accuracy. Synchronized Assault. Goku and Granola's eyes coordinated perfectly while Vegeta used his royal combat sense to create unpredictable patterns their opponents couldn't analyze. Evolution Cage, an advanced version of Goku's Cerillian Cage, where all 3 warriors contributed energy, creating a barrier that could contain and analyze any attack. Gohan watched from nearby, his own Cerillian abilities growing. Dad's right eye patterns are spreading to his left eye now, and Granola's eye is so advanced it's scary. Piccolo nodded, and Vegeta's keeping up through sheer determination. These 3, they're going to carry Universe 7. Capsule Corp became tournament headquarters. Bulma had set up screens showing information about the other universes, and the Z-Fighters gathered to discuss team composition. "We need 10 warriors," Goku said, his evolved eyes scanning data while he munched on Chi-Chi's cooking, "and they need to work together perfectly." The final team was decided. 1. Goku, leader and primary tactician with Cerillian analytical abilities. 2. Vegeta, raw power and royal combat sense. 3. Granola, pure Cerillian precision and long-range support. 4. Gohan, incredible potential with growing Cerillian abilities. 5. Piccolo, strategic thinking and regeneration. 6. Android 17, infinite stamina and tactical mindset. 7. Android 18, power and teamwork with 17. 8. Frieza, overwhelming strength, recruited reluctantly from Hell. 9. Krillin, experience and support techniques. 10. Master Roshi, wisdom and surprise factor. Granola replaced Tien from the original roster, his Cerillian abilities too valuable to pass up. "Frieza's going to be a problem," Vegeta grumbled. "He is," Goku agreed, "but he wants to survive as much as we do, and with my Cerillian eye, I can monitor him constantly. If he betrays us, I'll know before he even finishes the thought." Training intensified. Goku used his evolved eye to analyze each team member's strengths and weaknesses, creating personalized training regimens. For Gohan, your Cerillian genes are awakening further. Both your eyes are showing patterns now. By the tournament, you might have abilities that match Granola's. For Piccolo, your strategic thinking combined with my tactical analysis makes us a perfect command team. You read people, I read energy. For the androids, your infinite stamina is perfect for war of attrition. Granola will coordinate you two for maximum efficiency. For Frieza, behave yourself, or I'll let Granola use you for target practice. His evolved eye can calculate exactly how to hurt you without killing you. Frieza had been resurrected temporarily for the tournament, and he was not happy about being threatened. But one look at Goku's evolved eyes, both of them now showing complete Cerillian patterns, convinced him to cooperate. "You've changed, monkey," Frieza said coldly. "You're more dangerous than before." "I evolved," Goku said simply. "That's what Cerillians do." The final week before the tournament, Goku gathered the team for one last briefing. "Listen up," his eyes glowed as he accessed probability streams. "I can see thousands of potential futures for this tournament. In most of them, we face a warrior named Jiren from Universe 11. He's stronger than anyone we've fought, maybe even stronger than Beerus." Everyone went silent. "But I can also see futures where we win," Goku continued. "Those futures have one thing in common: perfect teamwork. We don't have to be the strongest individually. We have to be the best team." Granola stepped forward. "Goku and I will coordinate everyone telepathically through our Cerillian abilities. You'll receive real-time tactical information, threats, weaknesses, opportunities. Trust what we show you, and we'll get through this." Vegeta crossed his arms, and if this Jiren is too strong for tactics, Goku's expression became serious. "Then I'll handle him personally. My Cerillian evolution, it doesn't stop. The more I fight, the more I adapt. If I can last long enough against Jiren, I'll evolve to match him. That's your plan?" Vegeta demanded. "Hope you can evolve fast enough?" "It's worked so far," Goku said with a grin. Then seriously, "But I won't have to do it alone. You'll all be there. That's what makes us strong." The day of the tournament arrived. The world of Void, an infinite white expanse where the Tournament of Power would be held. 80 warriors from 8 universes stood in the arena, each fighting for their universe's survival. The Grand Priest announced the rules. The tournament will last 100 tacks, approximately 48 minutes. Warriors eliminated by ring out or surrender. The universe with the most warriors remaining wins. Losing universes will be erased by the Omni King. Goku's evolved eyes scanned all 80 fighters in the first 10 seconds, analyzing power levels, fighting styles, potential threats. The information flooded into his mind, processed by his Cerillian biology faster than any computer. "Granola," he said telepathically. "Sharing data now." Their Cerillian eyes synchronized across the battlefield. Every member of Universe 7's team suddenly received tactical information directly in their minds. Enemy positions, power levels, strategic recommendations. Android 17 heard in his head, 3 fighters at 2 o'clock, medium power. Recommend elimination priority, yellow one first, he's their coordinator. Piccolo received sniper support from the central pillar. Coordinate with Granola for crossfire patterns. The tournament began, and Universe 7 fought like a well-oiled machine. Granola versus Dispo. The speedster from Universe 11 moved faster than light, his technique called Super Maximum Light Speed Mode, making him nearly impossible to track. Nearly. Granola's fully evolved Cerillian eye could perceive movements before they happened. He didn't need to track Dispo's speed. He predicted where Dispo would be 3 moves ahead. "Your speed is impressive," Granola said calmly, standing still while Dispo blurred around him. but my eye sees probability streams. I know where you'll be before you decide to go there. Dispo attacked from behind. Granola's precision blast was already waiting there, fired a split second before Dispo arrived. The speedster ran directly into the attack and was eliminated. Universe 7, 10 warriors remaining. Universe 11, 7 warriors remaining. Battle 2, Vegeta vs. Toppo. The Pride Trooper stood for justice and order. He was powerful, noble, and utterly unprepared for Vegeta's royal combat sense. "You fight for justice," Vegeta said, his aura blazing as he achieved Evolution Blue, his own evolved form born from Saiyan pride. "I fight for my pride and my people. Which do you think burns hotter?" Toppo transformed into God of Destruction mode using energy of destruction. It should have been overwhelming, but Vegeta had been training with Goku and Granola. His royal combat sense, refined through constant competition with their Cerillian eyes, could read the flow of even divine energy. "I don't need an evolved eye," Vegeta roared. "Pure Saiyan instinct is enough." He overwhelmed Toppo through sheer determination and strategic precision, eliminating the God of Destruction candidate. Universe 7, 10 warriors remaining. Universe 11, 6 warriors remaining. Battle 3. The trio versus multiple universes. When several universes tried to gang up on Universe 7, Goku, Vegeta, and Granola deployed their combination techniques. Goku's eyes glowed as he coordinated. Vegeta, Northeast Quadrant, 3 fighters clustering. Granola, Southwest sniper position. I'll create the opening. They moved as one organism. Goku's instant transmission created chaos among enemy formations. Granola's precision shots eliminated targets from impossible angles. Vegeta's overwhelming power broke defensive formations. 6 fighters eliminated in 3 minutes. The other universes began to fear Universe 7's tactical coordination. "How are they doing this?" a fighter from Universe 2 shouted. "It's like they can read our minds." "Not your minds," Goku said, his eyes blazing. "Your energy, your movements, your intentions. My Cerillian eye sees everything." As the tournament progressed, Universe 7's numbers advantage grew. By the 30-minute mark, Universe 7, 8 warriors remaining. Universe 11, 3 warriors remaining. Jiren, Toppo eliminated, and 2 others. All other universes severely depleted. Then Jiren stepped forward. Jiren was different from anyone Goku had faced. His energy was calm, focused, and absolutely massive. He stood in the center of the arena, arms crossed, radiating power that made even Beerus pay attention from the stands. "I'll handle this," Goku said to his team. "Everyone else, clear the remaining fighters from other universes." Vegeta started. "Trust me," Goku said, his evolved eyes meeting Vegeta's. "I can see the path to victory, but I need to walk it alone." Goku approached Jiren, powering up to his evolved Saiyan God form. Golden hair, crimson lightning, both eyes blazing with Cerillian patterns. "You're the one called Goku?" Jiren said, his voice deep and steady. "I've been watching you coordinate your team. Your analytical abilities are impressive." "Thanks," Goku said. "You're Jiren, right? I can sense your power. It's incredible." "Power is all that matters," Jiren stated flatly. "Strength is the only truth. Bonds, teamwork, friendship, all meaningless. Only absolute strength can protect what you care about." Goku's expression became serious. "You're wrong. Strength alone isn't enough. I learned that from everyone I've ever fought. My mom gave me Cerillian evolution. My dad gave me Saiyan spirit. My friends give me purpose. Together, that makes me stronger than just power alone." "Then prove it." They clashed. The battle was immediately different from anything the tournament had seen. Jiren's raw power was overwhelming. Each punch carried enough force to destroy planets. His speed matched his strength. His technique was flawless. But Goku's Cerillian eyes were analyzing everything. "Power output exceeds mine by approximately 40%. Fighting style, absolute efficiency, 0 wasted movement. Weakness, predictable patterns due to perfect technique. Adaptation strategy. Evolve in real time." Goku's cells responded to his will. He made a wish deep in his biology. "I wish to evolve to match this opponent." His transformation began mid-battle. His hair shifted between gold and silver, unable to settle on one color. His aura mixed Saiyan golden energy with Cerillian crimson lightning and something new, a strange ultra-white energy that seemed to exist outside normal space-time. "Mastered evolution," Goku said, feeling the transformation complete. In this state, Goku was constantly evolving. Each exchange with Jiren made him slightly stronger, slightly faster. His Cerillian cells were adapting in real time, learning from every punch, every block, every technique. Jiren noticed. "You're getting stronger during our fight." "How?" "Cerillian evolution," Goku explained while dodging a devastating punch. My cells adapt to threats. The more you push me, the more I evolve to match you. That's what my mother's people could do. Endless adaptation. Impossible. Power has limits. Not for a Cerillian Saiyan hybrid. Goku's eyes blazed brighter. Cerillians evolve without limits. Saiyans break through any ceiling. Combined, I can keep growing forever. The battle intensified. Jiren pushed harder, and Goku evolved faster. They traded blows that shook the infinite void, energy attacks that erased parts of the arena, techniques that warped reality. Goku's teammates watched in awe. Dad is... Gohan couldn't find words. He's evolving every second. His power is climbing continuously. Granola's evolved eye tracked the changes. His Cerillian cells are responding to his Saiyan battle instinct. Each time Jiren hits him, his body analyzes the attack and evolves to resist it better. Each time he attacks Jiren, his cells optimize the technique. He's becoming a perfect counter to Jiren specifically. But Jiren wasn't done. He powered up further, his aura exploding with primal red energy. I lost everything once, Jiren said, emotion finally entering his voice. My family, my friends, my teacher, all killed because I wasn't strong enough. I swore I'd never be weak again. Absolute strength is the only way to protect anything. I get it, Goku said, his evolution pausing as he listened. You turned your pain into strength, but Jiren, you also turned it into isolation. You're strong alone, but that strength has a ceiling. And you don't? Not anymore, Goku said, his eyes glowing as he looked at his team, at Granola, at everyone fighting for Universe 7. Every person I've met, every battle I've fought, every friend I've made, they all pushed me to evolve. I'm not strong despite my bonds, I'm strong because of them. Philosophy clash, Jiren's path of solitary strength versus Goku's path of connected evolution. Their final clash began. Jiren peaked at his maximum power, absolute overwhelming, but finite. This was his ceiling. But Goku kept evolving. His mastered evolution form had no ceiling. Every moment he fought, his cells adapted, his techniques refined, his power climbed. Slowly, gradually, Goku began to surpass Jiren. How are you still getting stronger? Jiren demanded, frustration breaking through his calm. Because my mother gave me evolution without limits, Goku said, both his eyes now glowing with the most complex Cerillian patterns ever seen. My father gave me a Saiyan's refusal to quit. My friends gave me something to fight for. You're strong, Jiren, but strength alone isn't enough. Final attack, Goku's Kamehameha. Refined by Cerillian analytical precision and empowered by Saiyan emotion, met Jiren's maximum power blast. The beam struggled for dominance. Then, Granola's voice entered Goku's mind telepathically. You're not alone, cousin. And suddenly Goku felt it. Energy from Vegeta, from Granola, from Gohan, from everyone on his team flowing into him. Not a spirit bomb, but something more refined. Tactical energy support, coordinated through Cerillian mental links. His Kamehameha surged forward, overwhelming Jiren's blast and struck the Universe 11 warrior directly. Jiren fell. The arena went silent, then erupted in chaos as everyone realized Universe 7 had won. The Grand Priest announced, Universe 7 is victorious. As promised, the Omni King will grant one wish to the winners. Goku powered down, exhausted but smiling. His mastered evolution form faded, leaving him in base form with both eyes still showing faint Cerillian patterns. Zeno, the childlike being who was actually the king of everything, floated down. Goku, that was so cool. What do you wish for? Everyone tensed. This wish could be anything. Unlimited power, immortality, control over the universes. Goku didn't hesitate. I wish for all the erased universes to be restored, he said. Not just the ones from this tournament, all of them. Every universe that was erased in the past, bring them back. Gasps from every surviving universe. Even the ones we didn't compete against? Zeno asked, tilting his head. Yeah, it's not fair they got erased without a chance to prove themselves. Everyone deserves to exist. The Omni King was impressed and smiled. Okay, I like Goku. Wish granted. Reality rippled. 7 universes that had been erased suddenly existed again. Their warriors, their worlds, their people, all restored as if they'd never been gone. The Grand Priest nodded approvingly. A selfless wish. Universe 7's mortal level has increased significantly. Earth had changed in the years since the Tournament of Power. Gohan had become Earth's primary protector. Now in his mid-20s, both his eyes showed complete Cerillian evolution. He balanced his role as a scholar, having earned multiple PhDs, with defending the planet. His Cerillian analytical abilities let him solve complex scientific problems as easily as combat situations. At his home, he trained his young daughter Pan, who was already showing signs of inherited Cerillian abilities. Can you teach me the eye thing, Papa? Pan asked, her own eyes flickering with faint patterns. When you're ready, Gohan said with a gentle smile. Your great-great-grandmother Gine would be proud. Granola had rebuilt planet Cereal using resources and technology from across Universe 7. The planet became a training ground for warriors from all universes, a place where Cerillian techniques were taught and preserved. He stood before a memorial wall showing images of the Cerillians who had died, including a newly added portrait of Gine. The Cerillian legacy isn't about destruction anymore, Granola said to visiting students. It's about protection, evolution, becoming more than we were. Vegeta had fully mastered his Royal Evolution Blue form, creating his own path that rivaled Cerillian abilities through sheer Saiyan determination and pride. He trained with Goku and Granola regularly, the three of them pushing each other to new heights. I still don't have your ridiculous evolved eyes, Vegeta admitted during a sparring break, but I've proven I don't need them. Saiyan pride and instinct are enough. More than enough, Goku agreed. You've created something completely your own, Vegeta. That's what real evolution is. Goku himself had continued to evolve beyond even his tournament heights. His Cerillian abilities had developed to the point where he could perceive divine energy naturally, see multiple futures simultaneously, and adapt to any opponent within minutes of fighting them. He split his time between Earth and Beerus's planet and training with Whis and occasionally sparring with the God of Destruction. On a quiet evening, Goku sat at Gine's memorial with Chi-Chi beside him. The kids asked about their grandmother again, Chi-Chi said softly. What did you tell them? The truth, that she was a survivor who chose love over hate, that she gave you abilities that saved the universe. Chi-Chi smiled. They want to learn more about Cerillian history. Granola is teaching classes now, Goku said. 4 generations of Cerillian blood, Chi-Chi mused. Your mother would be amazed. Yeah, Goku said, his evolved eyes distant, seeing something beyond. I think she'd be proud. We took what she gave us, this ability to evolve, to adapt, and used it to protect people instead of destroy them. He stood, looking up at the stars. There's more coming, he said quietly. My eye shows me glimpses of things, stronger opponents, bigger threats, but also opportunities to grow even further. Will you be ready? Goku smiled, that confident, battle-hungry smile. I'm always ready. That's what evolution means, being ready for whatever comes next. Location, Beerus's planet. Goku, Vegeta, and Granola trained together under Whis' supervision. The Angel watched with satisfaction as the 3 warriors executed combination techniques that required perfect synchronization. The new trio of Universe 7, Whis observed. How far you've all come. Beerus reclined nearby, watching with one eye open. The mortal level of our universe has risen significantly since the tournament. Perhaps I can actually nap without worrying about Xeno erasing us. That's the plan, Goku said cheerfully, blocking one of Vegeta's strikes while simultaneously predicting and countering one of Granola's sniper shots. Then it happened. Reality tore open, not gently like a portal. It tore like fabric being ripped apart by overwhelming force. Divine energy poured through the rift, ancient and terrible. A figure stepped through, humanoid but clearly not mortal. Their form seemed to shift between dimensions, their energy signature reading as impossibly old. Whis' eyes widened in genuine shock. That's impossible, the angel whispered. The figure looked directly at Goku, their eyes focusing on his evolved Cerillian patterns. So the Cerillian experiment survived, the being said, their voice echoing with harmonics that hurt to hear. 20 million years of waiting and my creation has exceeded all expectations. Who are you? Goku demanded, powering up defensively. The being smiled. I am Kai-Tun, the ancient Kai who predates even the current Supreme Kais. I created the Cerillians 20 million years ago, seeded their planet with divine DNA, engineered their evolved eyes specifically to perceive and counter divine techniques. Granola's eye widened in shock. You created us? Indeed. The Cerillians were my masterpiece. Mortals designed to challenge gods, to ensure that even we divine beings had natural predators. You were meant to be god-killers, a check on divine power that had grown too comfortable, too complacent. Beerus stood up, his expression dangerous. I destroyed the Cerillians specifically because they were too dangerous. How dare you appear before a god of destruction? I appear because my creation has evolved beyond even my design, Kai-Tun interrupted, still focused on Goku. A Cerillian Saiyan hybrid. Brilliant. The Cerillian ability to evolve endlessly, combined with the Saiyan ability to break any limitation. You're not just a god killer, Son Goku. You're a god surpasser. Goku's evolved eyes analyzed the ancient Kai, and what he saw made his blood run cold. This being's power was beyond Beerus, beyond the Grand Priest, beyond anything he'd encountered. What do you want? Goku asked carefully. To test whether you've fulfilled your purpose, Kaitoon said, their power beginning to manifest physically, reality warping around them like heat haze. I created the Cerillians to evolve into beings capable of killing gods who abuse their power. You've trained with gods, fought alongside them, protected them. Have you grown soft, or have you evolved beyond my original programming? The ancient Kai's aura exploded outward, a challenge unmistakable. Show me, Son Goku. Show me whether the Cerillian legacy was worth preserving. Prove that my 20 million year investment wasn't wasted. Goku, Vegeta, and Granola stood together, their combined power rising to meet the challenge. If you created the Cerillians to challenge gods, Goku said, his eyes blazing with evolved patterns, then you should know, we don't just follow programming, we make our own choices. Cerillians evolved beyond being weapons. Then prove it, Kaitoon said. Surpass your creator, show me evolution's ultimate form. All three warriors powered up simultaneously. Goku's mastered evolution form, Vegeta's royal evolution blue, Granola's pure Cerillian perfection. Their combined energy shook the entire realm. Beerus and Whis backed away. This wasn't their fight anymore. Interesting, Kaitoon said, smiling genuinely for the first time. Very interesting indeed. Let's see what 20 million years of evolution has produced. The ancient Kai attacked. Thank you for watching, and this is where we'll end the story, unless of course you want to see what happens next. Should I make a sequel? Comment yes for a sequel, or no if you think this is the perfect ending. If this video gets 100 likes, I'll drop the sequel even sooner. If you enjoyed this series, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. Your support means everything. Thanks for being part of this journey.